Chapter 2056. The Tianshan village chief and the others did not expect the green demons to attack so soon. According to previous deductions, it should not be that area, especially since they had just carried out a crazy hunt some time ago. How long had it been, and they had already done it again? This made their faces pale, and despair appeared in the depths of their eyes. They were most afraid that the children they had just sent out would be intercepted by the green demons. Those were their hope. It did not matter if they died, but they were most worried about the children who were full of hope. Those were their future. Quick, let's kill our way out. No matter what, we have to let those children escape successfully. The Tianshan village chief and the others quickly flew out and gathered all the villagers to kill their way out to resist the green demons. At the same time, when a group of powerful green demon star lords flew over to the Tianshan village, they scanned the surroundings with their powerful spiritual senses and immediately detected a group of cultivators. They were very careful to hide themselves from others. However, in front of the powerful green demon star lords, they could not hide. Their cultivation was not high to begin with. How could they hide from their eyes with such poor concealment ability? Oh, there are people who want to secretly move. Maybe there is some information in there. Several Star Lords landed and blocked in front of them. Where do you want to escape to? The Green Demon Star Lord waved his hand, and the hidden power instantly dissipated. A group of children was exposed in front of the Green Demons. They were roughly in their teens, and their cultivation was not high, only at the Star Apostle level. In this area with such rich vitality, it was not difficult to cultivate to the Star Apostle level. Especially since there were many divine medicines here, it was even easier to break through to the Star Apostle level. Therefore, it seemed that this group of young cultivators had already reached the Star Apostle level. They were protected by two Master Xing, but these two Master Xing were not strong enough in front of so many Star Lords. Green Demon Star Lord. Master Xing's face darkened. They did not expect things to be so bad. They had only set off for a short while, and they had already been discovered by the green demons? Had the green demons received some news and deliberately come to intercept them? Even so, there was no need to send so many strong cultivators, right? A few more Master Xing could easily crush them, but now there were several Star Lords, which was completely different. One of the Green Devil Star Monarchs stretched out his hand and grabbed Grandmaster Xing, the leader, over. Grandpa Wei! This group of young cultivators shouted. When they felt the aura of a star venerate, they found it hard to advance. Even moving was difficult. Tell me, has there ever been an expert here? Or, did some super expert pass by? Tell me and I will spare your lives. The Green Devil Star Monarch demanded sternly. An expert appeared before? Grandpa Wei revealed a bleak smile. We've always been captured by you. Those with slightly stronger cultivations would be captured. How could there be any experts left? Looks like you don't want to tell me? Then let's kill a batch first. The Green Devil Star Sovereign gently raised his hand, and the children were lifted high. A formless energy grabbed their heads, ready to crush them at any moment. Grandpa Wei's face was pale as he shouted, "Let them go, they don't know anything." I've said it before, as long as you tell me, I'll let you go. I'm a man of my word. It was not that they were overflowing with sympathy, but there was no need to kill them all. As long as they could find the murderer, there would be no problem. But we don't know what you want to ask. Grandpa Wei said hurriedly. The murderer of the divine blood sacrifice tree, the Green Devil Star Sovereign said sternly. Could it be that the disappearance of the divine blood sacrifice tree was the doing of some expert? Grandpa Wei started laughing after hearing this. It seems that we have hope. Even if we knew, we wouldn't tell you. Child, I'm sorry, we have to leave first this time. I hope that Sir can avenge us and find hope for us. After Grandpa Wei heard this, his eyes were filled with tears. However, they were not tears of sorrow, but tears of joy. They had been collecting information and naturally found out about the disappearance of the divine blood sacrifice tree. However, they did not contact them. After all, they knew the situation here. How could there be such a powerful existence? Didn't they keep their talented disciples hiding so that they could severely injure the Green Devil race? Now, someone was helping them. Although they did not know who it was, as long as they could severely injure the Green Devil race, they would not betray them. Even if they died, they would not give up Yi Tianyun. Of course, they did not know that it was Yi Tianyun who did it. The many young children clenched their teeth, nodded, and shouted, "We will never yield. We hope that Sir will avenge us." They were not afraid of death. From the moment they were born, they had been trained to not fear death. The main thing was that living was a luxury for them. If they could not turn things around, they could only die. Now that someone could severely injure the Green Devil race, they knew that there was hope. Perhaps they would not survive, but at the very least, their compatriots would survive. You have quite a backbone? In that case, all of you can die. The Green Devil Star Monarch was angered. Not only did he not threaten them, but he was also angered by them. The group looked up at the sky. Even in the face of death, they would not compromise. At their final moments, they wanted to imprint the scene of this world in their minds. The Green Devil Star Monarch clenched his fists, controlling their strength and tightening it. However, they discovered that it was ineffective. Instead, an even stronger power was protecting them. "With me around, no one will dare touch you." A figure floated down and landed in front of them. A wave of energy spread out and scattered the Green Devil Star Monarch's power. "Milord." "Milord?" When Grandpa Wei and the others saw Yi Tianyun's back, they were immediately startled. Tears flowed out of their eyes. "Milord, quickly run. There are too many experts surrounding this place. There is no value in saving us. Quickly run and hide. Come out when there is an opportunity." They all shouted, hoping that Yi Tianyun would leave quickly and not make pointless sacrifices for them. After all, it was not worth it to sacrifice for them. There is nothing that is not worth it. Your lives are worth it as well. Yi Tianyun said sullenly, "From today onwards, we will launch a complete counterattack and destroy the Green Devil race." "Ha! What arrogance! You want to destroy our Green Devil race with just one person?" When the Green Devil Star Monarch saw Yi Tianyun come out, he was startled by his strength. However, when he sensed it, he discovered that Yi Tianyun's strength was not very strong, just slightly stronger than his own. Most importantly, Yi Tianyun was alone. What was there to fear? Boom! Chapter 2057. Several Green Demon Star Venerates were killed by Yi Tianyun with one slap. They were like pieces of paper, easily slapped to death. When Grandpa Wei and the rest saw this, they were really shocked. How could they not know what a Star Venerate represented? It was a supreme powerhouse. They had spent their entire lives to break through to the Star Venerate realm. Fortunately, they had the power to resist. Now, so many Green Demon Star Venerates could not even withstand one move from Yi Tianyun. They were killed one after another. How could they not be shocked? "Now, all of you, hurry back and gather everyone. I want you to gather here. Everyone is waiting for you." Yi Tianyun threw a roulette over and asked Grandpa Wei to catch it. When Grandpa Wei saw the light spots on the roulette, he was shocked. "Sir, are you saying that all the factions have gathered together?" "Yes, all the factions have gathered together. Only your Heavenly Mountain Village is left. I deliberately kept you here mainly because you are too close to the Green Demon race. They might keep an eye on you. Therefore, you were notified last. They will only come to rescue you when the situation breaks out." Yi Tianyun quickly explained, "Someone will come to rescue you soon. You should all know each other." Sure enough, several figures soon came. When Grandpa Wei saw them, he said in surprise, "It's the village chief of the Wasteland Village and the village chief of the Qinglu Village." He immediately recognized that they were the village chiefs of the other villages. They had all rushed over, which meant that everything had been arranged properly. Yi Tianyun swept through the other villages. He did not expect that they would attack the other villages. After obtaining the Green Demon Star Venerate's memories, he immediately contacted the other villages and told them to gather together to fight the Green Demon race. At first, when Yi Tianyun told them, they were naturally unwilling to listen. They wanted to fight, but doing so would mean death. Even if they were at death's door, they had to preserve hope and secretly train disciples. Now that Yi Tianyun asked them to fight, Wouldn't that be giving away their last hope? When Tianyun showed his strength and brought out the blood sacrifice tree, they were shocked and fell into deep thought. But in the end, they agreed. Because there had been no hope all this time, he might as well fight with them. The most important thing was that Tianyun promised to bring a group of people back. Even if they failed, Tianyun could bring a group of disciples away. Just this point alone was enough for them to agree immediately. They had persisted for so long just to preserve their bloodline. All along, they couldn't escape even if they wanted to, so they could only accumulate power. Now, Tianyun could bring all the cultivators together. Therefore, Tianyun can easily gather all the cultivators together and gather them as a whole. The cultivators as a whole were quite powerful, and there were quite a number of star masters. However, there was not a single star lords. The green demon race probably would not allow their star venerates to appear unless they were very well hidden. Otherwise, they would be killed. Tianyun would not allow. Unless star demon would kill. Tianyun doesn't want to sweep all of them. That's a very unwise choice. If he waited until the green demon race went to find trouble with the other villages, then he would be in a passive state. Once he knew the general strength of the green demon star venerable, everything would be easy. Then, the green divine mountain village was cleaned up. A group of people rushed to the gathering area. Immediately, the green demons who were besieging the Tianshan village were all cleaned up, and a group of people rushed to the gathering area. All kinds of great formations had been set up there, which were the best they could do. They might not be enough for the green divine mountain village, but they were better than nothing. Not long after they gathered, the green divine mountain village arrived. When the green divine mountain village went to the big villages, they found the villages had been cleaned up. Then they found a gathering point, so they quickly flew over. When the green demon clansmen made their way to the various villages, they discovered that the villages had been emptied. Thereafter, they discovered a gathering point and swiftly flew over. At this moment, a dreadful force gathered in front of them: 7 star venerables, 12 star lords, and numerous star masters. Even if the burning desolate territory and the star source territory gathered, they would not have so many strong people. Even if the burning desolate territory and the star source territory gathered, they would not have so many strong people. It could be said that they were completely crushed. Now, their villages, which did not even have a star lord, had to face such a dreadful force. It was like facing a hell. Is this all the strength of the green divine mountain village? It's really dreadfully powerful. When Tianyun saw so many strong people, his eyes were not filled with despair, but excitement. It was the first time in his life that he had seen so many strong people. The Star Source Territory Lord and the Divine Jade Star Venerable were nothing compared to them. The village heads standing behind Tianyun were also shocked when they saw so many experts coming out of the city. They had known for a long time that the Green Divine Mountain Village was strong, but when they gathered, they found it was so dreadful. Too many strong people. This is the power of the Green Divine Mountain Village. We have attracted all the strong people of the Green Divine Mountain Village. That's right, this is something that has never happened before. They can casually send out a group of Master Xing and they can completely exterminate us. But now they have sent so many strong people. After all, this is about the blood sacrifice divine tree, the future of the Green Divine Mountain Village. How can they not send all their strength? They all looked at Tianyun, their eyes full of hope. They were amazed by the power of the Green Divine Mountain Village, but it did not mean they were afraid of death. From the very beginning, they knew they would face so many strong people, so they did not need to be afraid of anything. Tianyun smiled. The reason why the Green Divine Mountain Village had sent so many strong people was that they had been severely injured. So many Star Lords had been killed, and 3 Star Venerables had been killed. How could they not send all their forces? Unfortunately, he had killed too few people, and there were still too many strong people left. A dreadful power surrounded them, almost airtight. There was no way to escape. Do you think you can deal with us by gathering together? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, the leader of the group, floated in front of them. His eyes were full of killing intent. I don't know where you come from, but since you have come to our world, no matter who you are, You will die here. At the same time, you will also pay for what you have done. You could have lived a little longer, but now it seems impossible. Chapter 2058. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable stared at them coldly. He was ready to attack at any time. As long as he gave the order, they would all attack and trample this place into ashes. There were so many strong people. How could a small number of practitioners resist them? The shield here didn't work at all, as if it didn't exist. There was a huge gap between their strengths. The green demons had thought they could crush their opponents from the very beginning. Unless their opponents were stronger. But no matter how strong they were, could they be stronger than them? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable alone was strong enough to look down on all of them. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was the strongest Star Venerable among the green demons. He was a Star Venerable in the late stage. The others were also Star Venerables in the late stage, but they were still weaker than the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. If the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable wasn't the strongest, he wouldn't have the right to speak. Only the strongest would have the right to speak. In other words, he would have the right to decide everything. Most of the remaining Star Venerables were in the early stage or the middle stage of Star Venerable. More of them were in the early stage. Only a few of them had reached the middle stage or the late stage. In the face of such pressure, Yeonyun smiled and said, "What a big mouth. It seems that all of you Green Demon Clan's mouths are stinky. Do you really think you are the king here?" "I'm not the king here." "Are you the king here?" The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable sized up Yeonyun, his eyes full of disdain. "You think you are strong, but you don't know you will bring yourself to hell. You are really stupid. I gave you a way out, but you still want to rebel with him?" The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable didn't rush to attack. Instead, he observed the situation first. He wanted to see everything clearly. In other words, he wanted to see the regret on the practitioners' faces. If possible, they didn't want to kill these practitioners. They wanted to let them live and reproduce slowly. In the end, they would become fertilizers for the divine blood sacrifice tree. A way out? The way you gave us is to raise us as livestock and then use us as sacrifices? If that's the case, it's ridiculous. We would rather die. The village chiefs started to refute him. This was the first time they had talked so much with the green demons. Normally, they wouldn't have had a chance to do so. "You're starting to have some backbone now?" Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable sneered and said, "Then let me see how strong your backbone is. I hope you can still say such words later. Let's go. Crush their so-called backbone." With a command, the numerous Green Devil race experts rushed forward. The leaders were obviously the strongest Star Venerables, followed by the Star Lords. They had set out this time for the blood sacrifice of the divine tree. Everything was based on taking down the blood sacrificial tree. There was no room for carelessness. They did not want to waste so much time to cultivate a blood sacrificial tree. After this incident, they would definitely increase the number of guards to protect the blood sacrificial tree. All along they had been too lax. They had never thought that there would be any resistance. They had never imagined that there would be a rebel among the cultivators who had been reared in captivity all this time. Now, a glint flashed across Yeonyun's eyes. He took them inside quickly. He did not intend to stay there to resist the green demon's attack. In fact, the village chiefs were very confused. They did not know why Yeonyun had done this. This was especially true when all of the cultivators were gathered together and stored in a small world. Normally, this would be suicide. If they got the small world, they would be at the mercy of the green demons. But Yeonyun insisted that they do this, so they can only do so. After they had escaped, the village chiefs also went into the small world. Yeonyun grabbed the small world and dashed forward with his strongest power. Crazy mode on. Starlight King's effect on. God of War's fury on. All kinds of powers were activated. The strongest power of the 6-color Emperor Dragons dashed toward the weakest area. The 23 cubic meters of astral power over his head was really amazing. "Break it!" Yeonyun shouted angrily. He broke the solid seal. His giant body was like a meat grinder, smashing the green demons who tried to stop him into a bloody mist. Even a Star Lord would be smashed into a bloody mist. What's going on? When the Star Venerables dashed in, they found there were no cultivators in their gathering place. They had sensed a large number of cultivators there. How come they had disappeared in the twinkling of an eye? He took those cultivators away. They must be hidden in the small world. Stop him! One of the Green Demon Star Venerables shouted, signaling his companions to catch up with him. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, who was watching from behind, was struck dumb. He had not expected Tianyun to do this. He felt he was an idiot. You want to escape from me? You are too naive. You have no idea what kind of stupid plan you have. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable thought he had overestimated his opponent. He had made so many mistakes this time, but his opponent had taken advantage of them perfectly. He had to be cautious. That was why this had happened in the end. However, Tianyun did not confront them head-on. Instead, he chose to escape. What kind of plan was this? It was better to scatter them than to gather together. Maybe it would be harder to find them. When they thought there was something wrong with Tianyun's head, Tianyun's body suddenly shrank to a normal size when he had rushed out of the layers of seals. Then he disappeared in front of them. What? They were dumbfounded. They did not know what had happened. Everything had disappeared. He broke the space and moved away. But it doesn't feel like it. They were all dumbfounded. They tried to sense the fluctuation carefully, but they could not figure out what had happened. While they were dumbfounded, Tianyun had teleported to the exit with the small world. There were still a large number of Grandmasters Xing who were continuously destroying the seal. Tianyun dashed out as soon as he showed up. At the same time, he took out his token so that Clan Master Ji, who was outside, could help him. Go to hell. This time, Tianyun was really killing. He turned into a golden light and rushed out. Wherever he went, the green demons exploded. Star Masters who were quite valuable outside were killed in batches here. When Tianyun touched the sealed passage, an opening appeared above him, allowing him to pass through smoothly. The moment he passed through, the passage closed again. Everything went back to normal, as if nothing had happened. Chapter 2059. Tianyun's disappearance drove the green demons crazy. They started to look for him crazily. When they found out that Tianyun had already left the area, they were really dumbfounded, or in other words, they really went crazy. Tianyun had run away with all the practitioners. He had teleported to the entrance of the sealed passage. Then he had run away with all the practitioners. Don't say Tianyun and the others regret it. Now they are the ones regretting it. They had sent so many green demons, but they had let him run away. They had been fooled since the beginning. From the beginning, his plan was to bring all the cultivators away? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was dumbfounded. When he recalled his plan, he found that Tianyun's plan was really like that. He had gathered all the practitioners on purpose to attract their attention. He had made them think all the practitioners were there. When all their forces had arrived, Tianyun had turned around and fled. Taking advantage of this gap, Tianyun broke the seal and escaped. As long as he could escape, the green demons outside would not be able to stop the powerful Tianyun. How is this possible? I have never seen such a teleportation. Even if he tore the space apart, he could not have teleported so far. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was going crazy. But it was useless. They had run away. Your Excellency, what should we do now? A group of Star Lords came over. They were all dumbfounded. They had never been fooled like this. They would never forget such a humiliation. They had been so sure of victory, but now they had lost. It was a terrible feeling. It was embarrassing. So many strong practitioners had let him go. They had not obtained the divine blood sacrifice tree or the practitioners. Let's go and destroy that seal pillar. Destroy. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable said in a stern voice, I don't believe we can't destroy it. He was infuriated. Apart from this method, there was no other way. The other Star Venerables and Star Lords looked at each other with strange expressions. If they could destroy it so easily, they would have done it long ago. If one's cultivation was high, they would definitely be able to destroy the pillar faster. However, there was a limit to how fast they could be. Unless one's cultivation was truly heaven-defying, one's speed would be relatively slow. This was why they had sent Grandmaster Xing to destroy it. It wasn't that they were too lazy, it was just that the effects weren't very obvious. They could only let Grandmaster Xing destroy it. It was more cost-effective. Yes, my lord. They could only obey orders. Even other star venerables had to obey orders. After all, the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was their leader. While the people below were going crazy, Tianyun rushed out in one breath and landed firmly on the side. Patriarch Ji's face was pale. It wasn't easy for him to open the seal, and it consumed a lot of energy. Sir, you're back. Patriarch Ji stood up in surprise. He was very happy to see Tianyun return safe and sound. Yes, they're back, and they brought a bunch of people with them. Tianyun took out a small world and released it. Soon, the village chiefs came out. When they saw the environment, they were all stunned. Isn't this the green demon world? They came to themselves after being stunned for a while. That's right. I've brought you out. I told you I would only bring a bunch of clansmen, but that was a lie. Tianyun said with a faint smile, only in this way can you maintain the highest degree of nervousness. The most important thing is that I'm afraid there might be internal problems, so I'm the only one who knows. From the beginning, Tianyun brought all of them with him. This is a powerful group of people, how can he miss this opportunity? Anyway, it was useless for them to stay in the underground world, so it was better to bring them out and let them join his force. Since they had saved such a bunch of people, their loyalty to him would be the highest. After all, they had stayed in that hellish world for such a long time, and their hearts were full of despair. It was not hard to imagine how grateful they would be to Tianyun when he saved them. Most importantly, they had no one to rely on, so it was only natural for them to join Tianyun's force. That's great. We're finally out. We're finally out of that damn place. Many of the village chiefs had tears streaming down their faces. Even in the face of death or the death of their loved ones, they had never shed a tear. They knew that tears were useless, so they could only stay strong. But now they were crying. This was the joy of complete liberation. After a while, they knelt in front of Tianyun and swore, Sir, we hope you can take us in and let us follow you forever. Yes. Without you, we wouldn't have lived to this day. As long as you give the order, we're willing to go through fire and water for you. They all spoke on behalf of their respective villages. The rest of the villagers didn't come out, but their thoughts were definitely the same. I'll make good arrangements for you. But before that, I still have one thing to do. Tianyun looked at them and revealed a faint smile. What is it? As long as we can do it, we'll do it. They all wanted to help, and even more so, they wanted to repay him. That's not necessary. You just came up from down there. How could I let you go down again? Tianyun said with a smile. Sir, you mean? They held their breaths. They had already guessed what he was going to do. That's right. I just want to turn around and go back. I've already saved you. So, we can continue with the plan, which is to eliminate the Green Demon Clan, just like I told you before. Tianyun's plan had never changed. He just happened to see so many practitioners, so he had to save them. But there are so many star venerables, so many star lords. They shivered at the thought of the fear they had faced. Don't worry. I have a way to deal with it. Tianyun turned his head to look at the Ji Clan Master. He said, Ji Clan Master, I'll have to trouble you again. I'll ask you to help me open the seal. Is that okay? The Ji Clan Master was dumbfounded. He didn't know the details, but he knew from the village chiefs that it wasn't simple down there. Tianyun still dared to go down there. It's okay. I promised you that I'd free them completely. Tianyun patted his shoulder. He said with a smile, wait for my victorious return. You also wait for me to avenge you. Then Tianyun jumped into the sealed pool without any hesitation. Ding. You've successfully completed the extra special rescue mission. You've received a first-level lottery ticket from the Good and Evil Exchange System. Chapter 2060. I didn't expect to get such a reward. What a pleasant surprise. Tianyun's eyes lit up. He hadn't expected to get such a special reward. He had thought he wouldn't get another one. It turned out he could draw again under special circumstances. Although the items in the 10,000 level area would be better, it would be great if he could get one in the 1,000 level area. After all, the items here must be good. He knew they couldn't be bad through the Super Soul Search. He had thought it would be great if he could get a lot of good points after saving so many people. He hadn't expected to get a chance to draw a lottery, which was much better than getting a lot of good points. If he wanted to draw a lottery, he would have to reach the 10,000 level area. It wasn't an easy process. Killing a strong star venerable would only give him dozens of good points, or even hundreds of good points. It wasn't easy to imagine how hard it was to get good points. In a trance, Tianyun had already passed through the layers of seals and entered the Green Devil world. As soon as he arrived, he saw the army of the Green Demons all over the sky. Almost all the forces of the Green Demon race were gathered here, ready to destroy the ceiling pillars here. While they were preparing, they saw Tianyun's figure coming down from the sky, and they were all stunned. Didn't they just leave not long ago? Why did they come down from above? I didn't expect you to have the nerve to come down. Let's see how you can escape this time. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable came back to himself immediately. He flashed to the exit and sealed it. At the same time, the other Star Venerables surrounded him and sealed the area in all directions. He had no way to escape. This time, they were really going all out. They had to regain their face after the humiliation they had felt before. Escape? I didn't plan to escape this time. Tianyun was excited. Facing so many strong people, he grinned and said, I will have a good fight with you to improve myself. Improve yourself? They didn't know what Tianyun meant. Could he improve himself by fighting with them? Before they could think further, Tianyun had already turned into a 6-colored Emperor Dragon and activated all his power. The Starlight Deity was also added to his body, increasing his astral power by 3 units. It was not over yet. He aimed at the other 2 Star Venerables and directly exerted the devouring starry sky. The giant mouth bit down and devoured the astral power from 8 directions, increasing his astral power from 23 to 31. He was the best in the entire arena. A unique Star Dharma form with 31 squares of star power? They almost swallowed their own tongues. That was 31 cubes of stellar power, not 21. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, who was the strongest among them, could only release 25 or 26 cubic meters of star power, while Tianyun could release 31 cubic meters of star power. What did that mean? Wrath of the War God. Tianyun roared and stepped forward with all his might. The void was shattered and the explosive power spread out in all directions. Because there were too many green demons here, they were directly crushed into pieces by his power. Even the star venerates that were closer were shaken to pieces. His power was too overbearing. With the help of 31 cubic meters of star power and the crazy mode, each of his attacks was as powerful as he was at his peak. Cool! Tianyun swept all the way and laughed heartily. He crushed the Green Devil race along the way and felt a lot of Green Devil race being crushed by him. Stupid human, stop. A Star Venerable tried to stop him. The heavenly demon Star Dharma form behind him was released. The powerful Star Venerable power wanted to stop Tianyun. Tianyun didn't even look at the Star Venerable, and he continued to step forward, crushing the Star Venerable's explosive power into powder, and finally fell on the Star Venerable's body, crushing it. A strong man in the early stage of the Star Venerable realm could not even survive one attack from Tianyun. This was the most violent power, and no one could resist it. At least, ordinary Star Venerables couldn't resist such a violent power. Tianyun dared to intrude into the lair of the green demons alone because he was confident in himself. Powerful strength was more effective than any schemes. Exciting! Tianyun laughed. He could not have been so carefree in the outside world. Star Lords were the strongest among them. Star Lords could not even resist half an attack from him. Only Star Venerables were slightly stronger. Most importantly, the green demons, a disgusting existence, had been eliminated. Isn't his power too strong? They were terrified. They had thought they could stop Yi Tianyun easily, but it turned out they had been too naive. They were trying to stop a monster. They thought they were monsters, but facing Yi Tianyun's violent power, no healing methods could work. They were crushed directly. Don't be so arrogant. A powerful force came from the void and collided with Yi Tianyun's attack. Yi Tianyun was sent flying. He could not gain any advantage. The one confronting him was another powerful fiery rain star venerable. He was a star venerable in the late stage. He was the second strongest person there. At this moment, only a star venerable in the late stage could stop Yi Tianyun. A star venerable in the middle stage could not stop him at all. Fortunately, he was not as weak as he was in the early stage, so he could resist the attack. After fiery rain star venerable appeared the heavenly demon star, not the green demon divine star. He had not achieved a level 6 star Dharma idol, but its level had reached level 3. Arrogant, so what? Yi Tianyun grinned. Thank you for your help. Fiery rain star venerable was struck dumb. He did not know what was going on. All of a sudden, Yi Tianyun's power soared from the star venerable in the early stage to the star venerable in the middle stage. He reached the star force of 31 cubic meters in one go. His star force had increased by 5 cubic meters. But this was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that his foundation had been greatly improved. The foundation was always more important than these bonuses. Chaotic stars, dragon. Yi Tianyun opened his giant mouth and breathed out. A violent power swept out and engulfed fiery rain star venerable directly. Even the green demons around him were crushed by this attack. After killing so many green demons, he had already reached the level where he could improve his cultivation. When there was any resistance, he would break out immediately and break through to a higher level. Under the roaring stars of the giant dragon, he crushed all the green demons. He killed another group of green demons. Fiery rain star venerable, who had been bombarded, did not die, but his body was badly mutilated. He looked quite miserable. Chapter 2061. Awesome! Yi Tianyun felt his power increase, which made him feel really good. As expected, the feeling of power increase was the best. That was the power that could control the whole area. Who could stop him? Even the green demons in the late stage of Star Venerable Realm were sent flying by him. With such power, no one in the two domain worlds would be a match for him, right? How could there be such a powerful cultivator? Flaming Rain Star Venerate's eyes were filled with horror. She thought that she could fight Yi Tianyun for a few moves, and even suppress him, but now it seems that she was the one being suppressed. Life extraction. Suddenly, a green light shrouded Yi Tianyun from the sky and instantly penetrated Yi Tianyun's body. The green light began to extract Yi Tianyun's life force. Yi Tianyun looked up and saw the star Dharma Laksana of the green demon divine star appear behind the cauldron dragon star Venerable. It was a level 6 star Dharma Laksana, and it was at the 3rd level. No wonder the cauldron dragon star Venerable could become the strongest green demon. The level 6 star Dharma Laksana was more powerful than all the other green demons. It was still at the 3rd level, but its power was amazing. Now the cauldron dragon star Venerable took action. He had thought he would not need to do anything, but he did. Under the life extraction, Yi Tianyun felt the vitality in his body was being extracted bit by bit. It was not fast, but as long as Yi Tianyun was still in range, his vitality would be extracted. The extracted vitality was absorbed by the cauldron dragon's star Venerable little by little. Don't think no one can stop you. The cauldron dragon star Venerable made hand signs quickly and said with a cold look, "Give me the divine tree of blood sacrifice, and I will keep your body intact." Are you kidding me? Keep my body intact? Yi Tianyun said with a cold smile. Besides, even if you want to keep my body intact, I don't want to keep yours intact. Do you think you are invincible just because you are so arrogant here? In my opinion, you are the naive one. Yi Tianyun aimed at the cauldron dragon star Venerable and released the chaotic star, Dragon. A power strong enough to crush a star Venerable went toward the cauldron dragon star Venerable once again. Fool, this is the world of our green demon clan. I'll let you see what it means to be in control. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable took a deep breath, causing the ground to shake. Then, a rich life force started surging towards the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, filling his body. This place was filled with life force. Under his casual summons, he could strengthen his life force at any time. With the support of the entire Earth, his strength began to increase greatly. His star power did not increase, but Tianyun clearly felt that the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's power had increased significantly, and it had even become one with the Earth. In such a state, the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's power was greatly enhanced. After all, it was connected with the Earth, which meant that it could mobilize the power of the area at will. As the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable gathered the Earth's power, he swung his hand toward Tianyun. He gathered the life force of the Earth and turned it into a giant green divine palm, which covered Tianyun. Although this palm was formed by a great amount of life force, it would not bring any life force to Tianyun. Instead, it would drain Tianyun dry. I am the Earth. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable exerted his strongest move. With the support of the Earth's power, his power reached a new height. It did not seem like he was exerting the Star Venerable's power, but the Earth's power. When the two were combined, his power reached a new height. Compared to Tianyun's strength, it's even stronger. His cultivation was stronger than Tianyun's, and his Star Dharma idol was also stronger than Tianyun's. Now, his control of power was even stronger than Tianyun's. As expected, it was easy to be at a disadvantage when it came to controlling power in someone else's territory. Your power is not bad. But you are too naive to think you can defeat me with this. Tianyun laughed. A shadow suddenly appeared behind him. Then almost half of the life force that had been flowing toward the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable went to him. I am the Earth. Tianyun exerted the same move. The speed at which he extracted the life force was a little slower than the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's. But at least the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's power was compressed by a little bit. How can you use this move? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was dumbfounded. Theoretically, only the green demons could exert this move, and it also needed a strong Star Dharma idol as a foundation. For example, the green demon deity star must be the foundation to exert it. Tianyun was not a green demon. How could he have a green demon deity star? The answer was obvious. Tianyun had a green demon deity star. He had obtained it when he killed the divine son of the green demon deity, and now he exerted it. The power of the 3 Star Dharma idols was amazing. However, his level was still lower than the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's. One was at the 1st level, while the other was at the 3rd level. There was still a big gap between them, but he could still fill the gap. Before the attack came, Tianyun gave up devouring the Star Venerable's star force. His star force fell from 36 cubic meters to 32 cubic meters. At the same time, he opened his mouth and swallowed the star force above the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. He swallowed the star force in 8 cubic meters and turned it into his own. His star force went back to 36 cubic meters. The difference was that the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's power was immediately weakened. Break! Tianyun laughed loudly. After everything was filled up, he manipulated the life force around him and followed Tianyun. Boom! A fierce explosion spread out, creating a huge pit in the ground. The whole green demon world was shaking violently. Many green demons had been affected by the attack. If they had been close to the attack range of the strong warriors, they would have been affected. Besides, they could not escape in time, so a large number of green demons were killed. They had come here to destroy the ceiling pillars, but now they couldn't run so fast even if they wanted to. They could only watch helplessly as they were engulfed by this power. When the explosion disappeared, the two of them were blown away, as if they were separated by water and sky. An incomparably deep ravine appeared between them, like a huge scar branded on the ground. Both of them had been injured in different ways. However, with the help of their strong life force, they recovered at an amazing speed. They were not injured at all. How can you have our power? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was shocked by how Tianyun could control their power. He could not understand it. Chapter 2062. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable didn't understand what Yun meant, but he soon realized what Yun meant. Then Yun turned around and started to attack. He didn't care about the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable anymore. He crushed every green demon he saw. He prioritized Star Venerables and Celestial Lords. Boom, boom. While the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was in a daze, he found a group of his subordinates had been killed, including 2 Celestial Lords. He finally understood what Yun meant. Yun didn't want to fight with him. He wanted to kill the other green demons first. Fight with me if you can. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable flew into a rage. He chased after Yun, trying to stop him. The divine tree of blood sacrifice was gone. If a large number of Celestial Lords and Star Venerables died, it would be very difficult for them to rebuild. Besides, they didn't have any practitioners left. How could they offer their blood as sacrifices? Yun turned a deaf ear to him. He continued to attack. This was his usual trick, which was to eliminate the other green demon race members first. He had just fought with the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable head-on. Neither of them could defeat the other. So, he would deal with the other green demons first. If he fought with them head-on, he would be in a serious situation. Then he would be doomed. After all, the green demons were everywhere. When he was in a bad situation, they would definitely attack him by surprise. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was different. Even if he was severely injured, his companions could help him. Yun used all of his elemental powers to kill the green demons. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable couldn't catch up with him. For a moment, he caused a huge commotion here, and a large number of green demons were crushed. Almost all the Celestial Lords were killed. There were only 2 or 3 Star Venerables left. As for the Celestial Masters, many of them had been killed. This place had been occupied by the green demons, but now it was empty. There were many pits on the ground. I will kill you. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable snarled. He rushed over to stop Yun. Boom. The 2 of them were bounced back again. Neither of them had the upper hand. Even if the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was slightly stronger, Yun's situation was not serious. This was especially so with the support of the Green Demon God Star. The life force in the surroundings surged madly towards him, allowing him to devour the life force like a whale. After devouring the life force, his injuries rapidly recovered. These were not fatal injuries, so how could they affect him? Thus, after clashing head-on, Yun borrowed this force to rush to the side and continue his slaughter. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was both angry and helpless. It was not that he did not want to use all of his power, but even if he did, he would not be able to suppress Yun. He didn't expect Yun to be able to hold on. His strength wasn't that far off from his. This was something they didn't expect. A Star Venerable in the middle stage was almost on par with him, a Star Venerable in the late stage. How could he not be infuriated? Are you deaf? Fight with me face to face if you can. Don't dodge. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable shouted angrily again. Fight with me face to face? When did the green demons ever fight openly? I don't need to be so open and aboveboard to deal with you. Yun said with a laugh as he continued to sweep the green demon race away. Another group of green demon race was killed. After many rounds, the green demons were almost crippled. They wouldn't be able to recover in a short time. Even if they recovered, they would be those who hadn't awakened the Star Dharma Laksana, which would be even more embarrassing. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's face turned livid after hearing Yun's words. His face was already green, but now it was glowing. It was the first time he had felt so helpless. He was a king here, but he could barely intercept Yun and interfere with him occasionally. It was impossible for him to crush Yun. When Yun used the same movement as him, the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable knew it was hopeless. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable had been relying on the power of this place, but Yun had copied it. How could he win? He couldn't compete with Yun's star power, so the gap between them was not big. If he hadn't been a star venerable in the late stage, he would have been suppressed by Yi Tianyun long ago. In the end, Yi Tianyun killed most of the green demons as he went on a rampage. A small number of green demons survived, and their cultivations were relatively low. None of the powerful Star Lords survived. As for the Star Venerables, 2 of them ran away, which was a pity. This meant the green demons only had 3 Star Venerables left, and the rest were below Star Master level. The green demons couldn't have killed all of them. After all, those with low cultivations didn't participate in the war. They were still in the big cities. It would take some time to kill them all. It's almost time. It's your turn. Yi Tianyun finally stopped. Facing the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, he didn't run around to kill the green demons. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's eyes were bloodshot. He had chased and intercepted Yi Xian many times, but it didn't work. Yi Tianyun finally stopped, but he was so angry that his heart was about to explode. It's my turn. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable shouted angrily, I won't stop until one of us dies. Come on. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable went all out again. He dashed toward Yi Tianyun. He couldn't wait to fight with Yi Tianyun. He wanted to see who could last until the end. Yi Tianyun smiled. Then he dashed toward the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. After several moves, the 2 were evenly matched. They didn't have an advantage over each other. Come on. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable shouted angrily and attacked again. Come on. Yi Tianyun also dashed over to fight the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. Just as the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was about to confront the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, a figure suddenly appeared behind him and launched a sneak attack on him. Puff! A knife fiercely pierced into the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body. The violent power directly tore the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body in half. With a scream, the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's head was quickly cut off. The moment his body was split open, he quickly retreated to the side. Then he reshaped his body. Thanks to his strong vitality, he was reborn. There was no difference from before. However, his face was a little pale. The consumption of his soul was not something that could be made up for by vitality. At that moment, he saw 2 Yi Tianyun standing in front of him. You sneak attacked me? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable knew something was wrong when he saw the other Yi Tianyun. So what? I told you, who would fight with you fair and square. Are you an idiot? Yi Tianyun laughed, but he was a little unhappy. Chapter 2063. This doppelganger was Yi Tianyun's trump card. Although its cultivation level was not at the top, it was good at sneak attacks. Now, it could hurt the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable badly. It had been hard to tell who would win, but now the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was blown up. Although he was not dead, he had at least injured the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, so he was weaker now. At this level, he had lost to Yi Tianyun. If he continued, he would be able to kill the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable on the spot. However, this fight was a bit difficult. He could not keep crushing his opponent like before. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was too strong. He was the strongest being Yi Tianyun had ever faced. If his cultivation level had not improved, it would have been difficult for him to fight against the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. Especially the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, who was supported by the power of the earth. He was much stronger than ordinary Star Venerables. Great. I had a good time. Let's fight again next time. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable turned around and left. He did not continue fighting with Yi Tianyun. He knew he would be at a disadvantage if he kept fighting. He was injured. If he had not been injured, he might have been able to keep fighting. There is no need for next time. Let's fight this time. Yi Tianyun quickly stood in front of the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. At the same time, his doppelganger also stood behind him. It was impossible for him to let go of the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. Unless he could not kill the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, he could let him go. Now that he could still fight, things were different. It seems you want to fight to the death with me? The veins on the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's forehead bulged. He did not want to do that. Yi Tianyun had killed so many of his subordinates. He would not let go of Yi Tianyun. But he was in a serious situation, so he could only choose to leave. Otherwise, if he died, it would be over. Fight to the death? You think too highly of yourself. I don't want to fight to the death with you. I want you to die, Tianyun said, looking at him with a smile. It seems that you really think you can take me down. Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable said angrily. It's all right, at least it seems so for now. Tianyun shrugged. Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable looked at Tianyun without saying a word. Then he waved his hand and cut off his own arm. A large amount of green blood splattered all over the place. When it landed on the ground, the blood quickly seeped into the ground. A moment later, the ground began to shake violently, as if something was breaking out of the ground. Since you insist on dying, I'll take you down even if I have to risk everything. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was furious. He had not wanted to use this move. He had wanted to go back and get ready to kill Tianyun. Right now, he could only forcefully erupt and release his strongest power. If he hadn't killed Tianyun, then Tianyun would have killed him. Tianyun saw the ground protruding rapidly. Soon, a giant tree emerged from the ground. It turned into a towering tree and covered the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable swallowed the towering tree. Thick vines emerged from his body and wrapped him up tightly. The place where his arm had been cut off had already recovered. He had cut off one of his arms and released a large amount of essence blood to activate his strongest power. After the giant tree had fused with him, his power became more solid. It was as if he had really put the power of the earth on his body, forming a perfect fusion. After a moment, after the perfect fusion, the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body did not change much, but his power had become more solid. Whether it was in terms of power or defense, they had formed a perfect combination. However, Tianyun could feel that the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's life force had started to fade away after he had done that. Sure enough, this move could not be used casually. Once it was used, it would have a serious impact on him, whether he won or lost. If the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable had not been forced to use it, he would not have used it. It would have consumed too much energy, and it would have affected his cultivation when he tried to break through to the Grand Star Venerable realm. He had been so conservative because he wanted to break through to the Grand Star Venerable realm. That was why he had not dared to use it casually. Every time he used it, there would be serious side effects, and it would take a long time for him to recover. If he had a choice, he would not have used it like that. He had no choice but to use it. I haven't used this move for a long time. Let's end this farce. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable looked calm. He gently raised his hand, and all the trees and life force around him gathered and turned into a sharp blade in his hand. It was the Sword of Life. The Sword of Life did not give life to the opponent. It cut off all life. Everything it touched would be cut off easily. Good power. You should have used this power from the beginning. Why did you wait until now? Tianyun looked at the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's power and said with a smile, "But that's it. I thought you could use some other power. This power is still too weak. You are just showing off, but it is meaningless." The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable raised the Sword of Life and slashed it down quickly. A green light shot out. A giant sword radiance traversed the whole world and headed straight for where Tianyun was. Everything in the place attacked withered. Everything was sucked dry by this power. Even if they did not die, they would be sucked dry to the last breath. Tianyun stretched his waist and said with a smile, "Originally I wanted to hide some of my power, but it seems that I have to use it now. Compared to your explosive power, I think it's a little stronger." That's right. He raised his hand and made a grabbing gesture. He wanted to stop the attack with his bare hands. You overestimate yourself. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was very calm. In his opinion, as long as he used this power, nothing could escape him. At this moment, Tianyun's power suddenly soared into the sky and increased greatly. From the middle stage of the Star Venerable realm, he reached the late stage of the Star Venerable realm in one go. At the same time, the 36 star forces above his head took a big step forward and reached 41 star forces. His star forces had increased by 5 star forces. He made a breakthrough? The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's calm mind collapsed quickly. He had never expected Yi Tianyun to make another breakthrough. Yi Tianyun had just reached the middle stage of the Star Venerable Realm. How could he reach the late stage of the Star Venerable Realm in such a short time? Boom! Chapter 2064. Yi Tianyun's trump card was not a move, but a cultivation upgrade. There was no move more powerful than cultivation upgrade. If there was, it would be upgrading 2 levels in a row. Upgrading one's cultivation would greatly improve all aspects of one's basic attributes. This was a real unique skill. Moreover, there were no side effects. It was much stronger than the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's move. This was the case now. After Yi Tianyun's cultivation upgrade, his cultivation was at the same level as the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. His basic attributes were definitely higher than the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's. On this basis, with the addition of Star Power and Crazy Mode, as well as the support of the suit, Yi Tianyun reached a new height. He could break the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's killing move with one hand. Your killing move is a bit ordinary. Yi Tianyun smiled calmly. He was not surprised by his strength. With the detailed data of the appraisal eye, he knew what to do to crush the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's pupils shrank. He had not expected Yi Tianyun's strength to be so strong. Yi Tianyun's strength is far beyond him. He is now using all his strength, and even with all his strength, Yi Tianyun didn't cause any damage to him. Just this point alone was enough to see the gap between the two of them. This farce will end here. Tianyun rushed up to the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable in an instant. He waved his hand heavily. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable reacted quickly. He quickly waved his sword to stab Yi Tianyun. His eyes were cold. You will be the one to end this. He exerted his strength to the limit. A large green sword light pierced through, and there was almost no way to dodge. Yi Tianyun did not intend to dodge. He reached out and grabbed the Sword of Life, making it impossible for him to move. The Sword of Life could not stab into Yi Tianyun's palm. It was frozen. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable looked shocked. He was shocked by Yi Tianyun's strength. Such a powerful move had been easily blocked, which was undoubtedly a huge blow to him. This is the power you were talking about? Tianyun squeezed hard, and the Sword of Life was crushed with a bang. Then he threw a punch at Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable and said in a cold voice, I will show you what real power is. Chaos Fist. He gathered all his power in his fist and threw it at the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable like a cannonball. Boom! The power gathered in his fist hit the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable let out a muffled groan as he was punched into the ground. With a loud bang, a huge crater appeared on the ground, and a huge mushroom cloud rose up, stirring up tornadoes in all directions. After a while, the explosion gradually dissipated. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable, who was left in the huge pit, had already collapsed. His body had already been smashed into minced meat. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable could only move his eyes. He wanted to get up, but he found that he couldn't move. He could only rely on the life force around him to recover his body. However, the recovery speed was extremely slow, and it wasn't as amazing as before. Even if he only had one head left, it wouldn't be as slow as it was now. This had something to do with Yi Tianyun's power. Before, he had only chopped at the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable without injecting any energy into his body. But now, the power of Yi Tianyun's punch had been poured into the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body, which made it impossible for the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable to separate his body. If the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body simply exploded, it would be difficult for him to die with his current cultivation. Even if he only had one eye left, it was possible for him to recover completely. He wouldn't die completely. Therefore, he needed to use his power to seal off the whole area to kill his opponent. It was the same for everyone. It was no longer possible to kill someone by chopping them in half with a sword. What was needed was a kind of control, which could completely seal off the opponent's power. After being sealed off, the opponent couldn't even separate his body, so he could only lie there paralyzed. In order to achieve this step, one would need a lot of power, and even more so, a lot of invasiveness. Yi Tianyun's power had great invasiveness. It had taken control of the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body, so he couldn't escape even if he wanted to. Even his healing speed had been slowed down. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's body was filled with Yi Tianyun's power. If he wanted to heal himself, he would first have to get rid of the power that Yi Tianyun had injected into his body. That was why the healing process was so slow. Yi Tianyun landed next to the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. He looked down at him and said, "Tell me, who will end this farce?" The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable looked at Yi Tianyun in shock. He knew that Yi Tianyun had increased his power, but he hadn't expected that he would be killed instantly. It was a real instant kill. He hadn't been able to fight back at all. The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable had gone all out, but he hadn't been able to hurt Yi Tianyun. He couldn't even block one move. "Ha ha ha, I lost. But don't be too proud. Our Lord will kill you." The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable laughed as if he had gone crazy. "Our Lord? Oh, that mysterious existence?" Yi Tianyun smiled. "He has been hiding in a corner like a turtle. What's the point? I almost destroyed the Green Demon clan, but he still hasn't come out. Does he want to avenge you?" He had learned all the memories from the Green Demon Star Venerable's head, including the memories of the mysterious Lord. Although he didn't know the details, he still hadn't come out. "It seems that you still know something. But that's all." The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable stared at him and said with a smile, "Soon, very soon. When our Lord comes out, it will be the time of your death. The seal is not a problem for him." "Oh, it seems he is quite powerful." Yi Tianyun looked at him and said with a smile, "But when he comes out, I guess he will be the only one left in the Green Demon clan. He is alone. What trouble can he cause?" Yi Tianyun was ready to destroy the Green Demon clan. Although it would take him some time, it wouldn't be a problem for him to kill all the green demons here with his great power. "Of course, I also want to know more about the inside story." Yi Tianyun reached out to grab the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's head. "Let me see what your memory is." The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable struggled. His eyes were burning. "Don't even think about searching my memory. It's impossible for you to search my memory. That's what one of your companions said last time." Yi Tianyun smiled calmly. He grabbed the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's hand and emitted a faint light. Then he exerted the Super Soul Search to extract the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's memory. No Star Venerable could escape from his Super Soul Search. Chapter 2065. All of the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's memories had been extracted by Yi Tianyun. Nothing was left. Unless he didn't want to extract them, none of them could escape his search. After extracting all of his memories, Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. He looked at the Star Venerable and said with a smile, "I didn't expect that even you don't know the real situation. You only know a small part of it. It seems your mysterious Lord is really mysterious. Even you don't know." After searching, the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable knew a little more than ordinary Star Venerables, but only a little. For example, the mysterious Lord's memories were not clear. He only knew he was very powerful. How powerful could he be? He must have reached the level of a Grand Star Venerable, or even already. As for the details, he didn't know. He only knew he was doing something, so he didn't come out. It didn't matter. Anyway, whether he came out or not, Yi Tianyun hoped he didn't come out. How could you search all of my memories?" The Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable was shocked. His soul was not hurt by the Super Soul Searching, and he could even search all of his memories. He had never heard of such an ability. If there were such a powerful move, they would have already searched a lot of memories. They wouldn't have to use other means to force the memories out. You don't need to know that. Yi Tianyun crushed the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable's head and killed him. Since he had finished searching the memories, he didn't need to keep the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable alive. Ding! Successfully killed the Cauldron Dragon Star Venerable. Got 400 million star energy and 200 killing points. Got the Green Demon Divine Star Dharma aspect and the Green Demon Bloodline. A Grand Star Venerable. If I really go out, I have to run away. Yi Tianyun shook his head. He had broken through to the late stage of Star Venerable with great difficulty. If he wanted to continue breaking through, he needed not only the Star Dharma aspect, but also a shocking amount of star energy. No matter which one it was, he couldn't achieve it. So, facing a powerful Grand Star Venerable, he could only choose to run. Although he wasn't facing a Grand Star Venerable, he knew he couldn't compete with such a powerful rule power. After tidying himself up, he controlled his doppelgangers to charge around. He couldn't kill the mysterious expert, but he could kill his way through and eliminate the rest of the green demon race. He would destroy as many as he could, regardless of the quantity. Onion swept all the way. Every city he came to, he directly trampled. This was his style of doing things. Be it men or women, old or young, he would crush them all. As long as they were from the green demon race, they deserved to die. Along the way, the remaining green demons began to rapidly decrease. Especially with the help of the doppelganger, the elimination speed was undoubtedly faster. As he continued to sweep downwards, the sky suddenly became extremely oppressive. Onion felt as if he was being suppressed by some kind of power, causing his flying speed and even the height he could fly to be greatly restricted, gradually pressing him down to the ground. Go! Without hesitation, Onion used the teleportation god stone. He didn't know why, but a sense of danger welled up in his heart, causing him to instinctively run away. No matter what the situation was, it was better to escape first. Fortunately, this oppressive power didn't seal his teleportation god stone. With a flash, he arrived below the sealed passage. When he wanted to fly up and leave, he found he couldn't fly up at all. It was as if a thick wall had been erected at the entrance of the sealed passageway. He couldn't fly up even if he wanted to. I don't believe it. Onion immediately turned into the six-colored Emperor Dragon main body. His giant body flew up high. However, he could only jump up. He couldn't fly at all. He was restricted by an invisible power. Flying is forbidden. Onion's heart sank. Only a Grand Star Venerable could restrict him like this without a doubt. The Great Star Venerables could set limits with the laws. They could restrict a region or a race however they wanted. This was the power of the law, which could restrict people directly. For example, if the sky was forbidden, that area would be forbidden forever. Either the cultivation of a Grand Star Venerable or the Grand Star Venerable lifted the restriction, the sky would be forbidden forever. Onion turned into the six-colored Emperor Dragon main body, but he couldn't get rid of this sky forbidden state. He was restricted by this powerful power. From this, it could be deduced that a mysterious expert had made a move. Maybe he couldn't bear it anymore and came out of seclusion to take revenge. It's just a word, yet he can restrict my flying power. Is this the gap between us? Onion thought to himself. Even if he couldn't fight against a Great Star Venerable, he would at least be able to resist. From the looks of it now, it was possible to block it, but it was impossible to hold on for a long time. Then a figure appeared in the sky, looking down at him. Onion raised his head and looked into that figure's eyes. It was not a green demon but a cultivator. It was the heavenly purification race, which was rare. Grand Star Venerable, Onion narrowed his eyes. As soon as this person appeared, he could clearly feel that extremely powerful power. It felt like he could be killed with one slap. Most importantly, this mysterious expert was not from the green demon race, which made him feel very puzzled. The appraisal eye looked this person up and down, but it couldn't find any more detailed information. Ding! Appraisal eye's level is not high enough. Unable to find more detailed information, the system's voice told him why he couldn't find anything. His cultivation was too high. It was beyond what the appraisal eye could find. Level up. Onion immediately leveled up the appraisal eye. It was a pair of eyes that could see everything, so it naturally had to be leveled up. Ding! Star energy successfully deducted. Appraisal eye leveled up. Soon, the appraisal eye was successfully leveled up. The data in front of him quickly updated, and he finally saw the detailed situation in front of him. Heavenly Wandering Yuan, Grand Star Venerable, belongs to the heavenly purification race. There was a powerful green demon soul in his body. The two rejected each other and wanted to devour each other. The green demon's soul occupied heavenly wandering Yuan's consciousness. After Tianyun checked the information, he was immediately stunned. He didn't expect this to be the case. How could heavenly wandering Yuan be occupied by a green demon soul? If he could resist a Grand Star Venerable's soul, he must be a Grand Star Venerable himself. Heavenly wandering Yuan, he looks familiar. Tianyun took a closer look and gasped. Wasn't this the benefactor of the five-colored god race? Chapter 2066. Tianyun had seen Tianyuan's statue in the five-colored holy race's temple. Since he had been tortured by the green demon's soul, his appearance had changed a little, so Tianyun could not recognize him immediately. Now that he took a closer look, he found that it was really the five-colored holy race's benefactor. The benefactor the five-colored holy race had been looking for was actually in their lair. It was unexpected. The five-colored holy race had thought that Tianyuan had left and gone to another region. Who would have thought that he was fighting the green demons down there? For some reason, the green demon's soul had invaded his body. Tianyun guessed that the green demon's Grand Star Venerate might have fought Tianyuan before he died, allowing him to successfully invade. Tianyuan must have been injured or something like that. Otherwise, how could his soul have invaded his body? I really didn't expect that the huge green devil world would be turned upside down by you. You're as disgusting as Tianyuan. You want to punish the green demons? Then go to hell. Grand Star Venerate Inhao's gaze was ice cold. He extended his hand and pressed down on Tianyun. The power in the surroundings quickly gathered and condensed into the strongest palm strike. The terrifying palm strike immediately made it difficult for Tianyun to breathe. Before the giant palm strike even reached him, his body had already cracked. His body was showing signs of cracking. If this palm strike landed, Tianyun would definitely be severely injured, if not killed. This is the power of a Grand Star Venerate? Tianyun was shocked. He had still greatly underestimated the power of a Grand Star Venerate. This was a qualitative leap. The power a Grand Star Venerate controlled was like a new level. The difference between a Star Lord and a Star Venerate was not that great. Run! Tianyun only wanted to escape, but he found that the surrounding space had been sealed. Or rather, he could not move an inch. He was completely suppressed. I can't even escape? Tianyun revealed a bitter smile. This was really ruthless. The difference was actually so great. Just as he was thinking about how to block and minimize the damage he would suffer, he suddenly felt a chill run down his spine. Up in the sky, Tianyuan's body trembled and his face contorted. A moment later he slapped his palm to the side and his attack missed. Boom! The giant palm descended, destroying heaven and earth. The energy swept up and sent Tianyun flying. Luckily he quickly stabilized himself in the air and was not in such a sorry state. The important thing was that he wasn't injured. The attack completely missed. Quick, let's go. I can't hold him down for too long. Heaven-traveling Yuan suddenly spoke, telling him to hurry up and escape. Tianyun immediately knew that Tianyuan must have regained control of his body. If he hadn't regained control, this palm strike would have landed on him. Tianyun's eyes flashed, but he couldn't escape to the sealed passageway now. The flight restriction was still there. Although Heaven-touring Yuan had regained control, he hadn't regained it completely. He still hadn't been able to remove the forbidden space law. However, he could not care about that now. He took out the teleportation god stone and disappeared, flying towards another region of the Green Devil world. It would be fine as long as he didn't confront Great Star Venerable Inhao head-on. The next moment he was teleported to the other side of the Green Devil world. He was very far away from the sealed passageway, as if they were worlds apart. However, as soon as he appeared, a figure appeared above him, waving his hand to grab him. Tianyun didn't have enough time to escape. He was caught in the air. Lad, you are pretty good. You can travel through space in my territory at will. Great Star Venerable Inhao regained control of his body again, and he caught up with Tianyun quickly. Star Venerables couldn't rival his teleportation speed. He really treated this place as his own territory. He could go anywhere he wanted to go as he pleased. For the first time, Tianyun felt his escape plan with the teleportation god stone had failed. He had been trapped by the seal. Now that he wasn't sealed, he couldn't escape as fast as his opponent. Most importantly, he was in the space controlled by Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. If he had been outside, he could have teleported to another region at will, and Great Star Venerable Yin Hao wouldn't have been able to catch up with him. Great Star Venerables weren't invincible. There were still limits. They could only control a region, not all of them. If they could control all of them, it would be terrible. Although they couldn't control all the regions, they could control the situation of a race. For example, they couldn't break through to Star Venerate or awaken the Star Dermic aspect. The green demons were locked in place, but it didn't mean Great Star Venerables could. The green demons could still forcibly awaken the Star Dermic aspect through the blood sacrifice divine tree. Tianyun narrowed his eyes. It looked like Tianyun's body was struggling very hard, and Great Star Venerable Yin Hao regained control of his body. No wonder Tianyun didn't show up when he killed so many green demons. He must have been suppressed by Tianyun. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao was furious because so many green demons had died. When he was enraged, he would go all out. Heaven-traveling Yuan really couldn't suppress him in a short time. If you want to kill me, just kill me. Why are you speaking so much nonsense? Tianyun said calmly. Do you really think I don't dare to kill you? That Great Star Venerable Yin Hao clenched his fist and crushed Tianyun. Bang! Tianyun turned into a bloody mist and disappeared in the air. Nothing was left. I finally killed him. The green demon world is safe for now. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao laughed. Then he stopped laughing, and his gaze became extremely cold. Tianyun, you can't suppress me forever. Sooner or later, I'll fight back and take control of your body. Pa. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao laughed. Soon, the shrill voice disappeared. It was replaced by Sky Turing Yuan's normal energy. Everything seemed quite peaceful. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's anger disappeared. Tianyun regained control of his body. He's dead. Tianyun looked at the area where Tianyun had been crushed and shook his head in disappointment. What a pity! Such a talented child died like this. While he was sighing inwardly, the bloody mist in front of him suddenly condensed and formed a body again. After a while, the body completely recovered. It was Tianyun himself. I consumed too much star energy. What a loss. Tianyun came back to life while cursing. He said something that Tianyun didn't quite understand. Tianyun was dumbfounded. He could clearly feel that Tianyun was destroyed, and even his soul dissipated, but now Tianyun was reborn, which he didn't expect. Chapter 2067. Before the system had evolved, Tianyun would have died for real. Now that the system had evolved, he could spend a certain amount of star energy to resurrect himself. That was a terrifying number. 200 million star energy. He had killed a star venerable in the late stage, and his experience had increased by 25 times, but he had only gained 400 million star energy. In the blink of an eye, he had lost half of his star energy. If he didn't have star energy, he wouldn't be able to resurrect himself. He would really be dead. As for sacrificing his clone, that would be too wasteful. He wouldn't sacrifice his clone. Anyway, if his clone was destroyed, he wouldn't be able to live. Tianyun had thought it was a waste of star energy to die helplessly. But it seemed like it was still acceptable. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's anger had subsided after killing him, and Tianyun had easily taken control of his body. This was unexpected. You didn't die? Tianyun looked at Tianyun in a daze. He had been sighing about how unfortunate it was, but he had been resurrected in front of him. Senior, do you really want me to die? Tianyun asked with a smile. That's not it. I just sensed that there was no aura left. Under normal circumstances, I would have died without a doubt, but you were able to come back to life. Could it be that you used some sort of special technique to deliberately deceive the enemy that you were dead? Heaven-traveling Yuan had never seen such a technique before, so he was momentarily intrigued. Something like that? It's a special technique. Ordinary people can't use it. Tianyun smiled. Ordinary people couldn't use it. No one but him could use it. Anyway, it's a good thing that the green demons were suppressed. Tianyun looked Tian Yuan up and down. His aura was steady. There was nothing wrong with him. As soon as he finished speaking, Tian Yuan's body shook. A green aura appeared on his face. Impossible, you didn't die. You didn't die, I'm going to kill you. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao wanted to take over Tian Yuan's body right away so that he could take over Tian Yuan's body. Get out of here. Tian Yuan snorted coldly. He released a powerful force and suppressed Yin Hao, the Great Star Venerate. After suppressing it, he took a deep breath and muttered to himself, "You still want to come out? Too naive." He was obviously speaking to the Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. He had been too infuriated and couldn't control himself. Now that his anger had subsided and been suppressed, it would be difficult for him to come out unless something extremely infuriated him happened again. After suppressing him, Skyder Yuan looked up at Tianyun and smiled. "It's all thanks to you this time. Otherwise, I would have had to spend a lot more time to suppress him." "Senior, there's no need to thank me. Didn't he come out because of me?" Tianyun knew why Great Star Venerable Yin Hao could come out. It was all because of him. "That's true, but you've also helped me clear out a group of green demons." He had been witnessing everything, and the rage in his heart grew stronger and stronger, to the point where he couldn't suppress it. Skyder Yuan shook his head. He looked at him with a glint in his eyes. "I didn't expect to see someone like you again after so many years. I thought you were from the five-colored holy race. It turns out you're not from the five-colored holy race. Instead, you're from the inconspicuous human race." The human race was widespread. Their comprehensive talents were average, which surprised Skyder Yuan. The five-colored holy race is in a dangerous situation. If they don't suppress the green demons, I'm afraid they won't be able to hold on for long. Tianyun told him the details of the situation, especially the part where the five-colored holy race had been looking forward to Skyder Yuan's appearance. Alas, it's a long story. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao counterattacked from behind, and I happened to be in a tie with him. He wanted to die with me, but I suppressed him and trapped his soul in my body. It will take a long time to kill him. After all, our cultivations are about the same, so we can only kill him bit by bit. As for the five-colored holy race, I'm very sorry. I didn't expect such an accident. Since Great Star Venerable Yin Hao is suppressed in my body, I can't attack the green demons at will. You saw the situation. If I attacked him at will, he would definitely jump out and break free from my suppression." Skyder Yuan explained. At the same time, he made a hand seal, and a roulette appeared in his hand. "Take this back and tell them that they don't need to guard this place anymore. They've already done their duty, so there's no need to continue. Besides, the situation here is much better. I'm afraid the green demons won't be able to make a comeback for a long time." Speaking of this, Skyder Yuan revealed a look of admiration. He had been observing the situation in the green demon world. He had seen Tianyun's plan with his own eyes, and he had also seen him kill many green demons. The blood sacrifice divine tree was gone, the cultivators had been rescued, and a large number of green demons had been killed. Under such circumstances, could the green demon race still make waves? Tianyun took the roulette and said with a sharp gaze, "The five-colored holy race has naturally completed the mission, but I haven't. I have to kill all of the green demons to complete the mission." Not only did he want to kill all of them, but he also wanted to complete the main mission. He had to complete it. "But if I do that, Great Star Venerable Yin Hao will definitely be infuriated, and he will take control of my body again," Skyder Yuan said in a deep voice. "I'm afraid he will come out again." "Is there no way to suppress Great Star Venerable Yin Hao or kill him?" Tianyun asked. "There is, and the method is quite simple. I just need to find another Great Star Venerable to work with me. That way, we can suppress him," Skyder Yuan said seriously. Tianyun rolled his eyes. This was no different from not saying anything. It was not easy to find a great star venerable. Even if they found one, they would have to pay a high price. How could the reward for a great star venerable be low? I know it's a bit difficult. The other way is to wait for me to wear him down bit by bit. It'll be over after a while, Skyter Yuan said with a smile. How long will this take? Yi Tianyun raised his eyebrows. He wanted to complete the mission as soon as possible. About a few million years. Skyter Yuan estimated the time. Yi Tianyun rolled his eyes. What was the difference between this and not saying anything? A few million years? He would have become a great star venerable by then. Why would he need to wait for a few million years? These are the only two ways for now. I haven't thought of any other methods yet. Skyter Yuan thought for a while and felt there was no other way. But if I find a great star venerable, I can ask my friend to come. I can't leave this place, but you can help me find him. If he comes and solves this problem, I'll give you a good reward. What do you think? Chapter 2068. That's not a bad idea. I can help you find a friend. Yi Tianyun nodded. He was willing to be an errand boy in order to complete the mission. It was better than asking a grand star venerable himself, which would cost him a lot. Now that Tian Yuan was asking him to find a friend, things would be different. It would be much easier to find a friend, and he would not have to pay the price. He could even get a reward. He did not really care about the reward. What mattered was finishing the mission quickly. In fact, the best solution was to kill Tian Yuan. That was the simplest way to solve the problem. Of course, Yi Tianyun would not do that. Although it was the most thorough way, Tian Yuan was not wrong. Moreover, Great Star Venerable Yin Hao could be removed, so he would not do such an extreme thing. This is my token. Take it to the Grand Star Venerable of Celestial Ring in the Big Ring Field, and tell him about the situation here. Tian Yuan took out a branch. Tian Yuan's aura and information were in it. Tianyun took the branch and said in confusion, "The Big Ring Field doesn't seem to be around here." He had never heard of the Big Ring Field. He knew all the fields nearby, except the Big Ring Field. The Big Ring Field is a bit further away. You can't go there without power. You are already a star venerable. It won't be difficult to go there, but it will take you some time. Tian Yuan raised his hand and a ring fell into his hand. He gave it to Yi Tianyun and said, "This is my magic weapon, the Moon Silver Ring. It has been with me for many years. If enemies come, fight them well." The Moon Silver Ring was a piece of galaxy-grade equipment. Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. This was a rare piece of galaxy-grade equipment. He had never had a good weapon. Maybe if he used this weapon well, it would increase his power. The Moon Silver Ring. This doesn't seem to fit your style. Yi Tianyun looked Tian Yuan up and down. It was weird for a man to use a silver ring. It's a gift from Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerable. It's actually one of the keepsakes, Tian Yuan said after coughing. Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerable gave it to me. Yi Tianyun suddenly realized that the Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerable was definitely a female cultivator. She must have given her weapon to Tian Yuan. No wonder she asked him to look for the Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerable. She was a confidant. If she knew that her sweetheart was in trouble, she would definitely rush over immediately. "I'll find Starlink's Great Star Venerate for you," Yi Tianyun said, smiling. "All right, I've lifted the flight restriction. You can go back now." Tian Yuan looked at him and said, "You don't have to worry about not having enough time. As long as I don't leave this place, there won't be any problems. You can take your time. In terms of body control, I'm still the main one. That guy won't be able to counterattack unless someone helps him." Yi Tianyun nodded. As long as there were no problems here, nothing would happen to the heaven-traveling Yuan. He had gotten through the daunting experience without any mishaps, but he had consumed a lot of energy. He had wanted to continue eradicating the green demons, but he had decided not to do so. It would be troublesome if Great Star Venerable Yin Hao counterattacked. Besides, if he wanted to eliminate all the green demons, he had to kill Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. Otherwise, How could he eliminate all the green demons? Therefore, it was more important for him to solve the problem of the soul first. Soon he returned to the surface with the help of the G clan's patriarch. Sir, it's great that you're fine. The G clan's patriarch was quite happy to see Lee Tianyun come back safe and sound. At this time, Lee Tianyun also saw the village heads that he saved, waiting for his return. When he came back, they all came up to him to ask him about the situation. What could have happened to me? Lee Tianyun said with a smile, the green demons down there have been mostly eliminated. There are only a small part left. The biggest problem is Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao? Their expressions changed. Although they did not know who Great Star Venerable Yin Hao was, they were all scared when they heard the words Great Star Venerable. Great Star Venerables were above Star Venerables. They all knew that. They did not expect there to be Great Star Venerables in the Green Demon's world. However, seeing that Lee Tianyun was fine, there must be a reason. Then Lee Tianyun took out a roulette and gave it to the G clan's patriarch. He said, "This is everything. It's a reply to the five-colored holy race." A reply to us? The G clan's patriarch was confused. He did not know what Lee Tianyun meant. He took the roulette and checked it. Tianyun's image appeared. His body shook violently. He looked at the image in disbelief. Sir, that was a legendary figure. How could he not be excited? Tianyun's message was simple. He said he felt sorry for them for giving them such a difficult task. He had only asked them to guard the green demons for a bit. He had not expected them to persist for so long. Tianyun had wanted to sweep through the green demons and let the five-colored holy race leave after dealing with them. However, he had not been able to come back for so long. The five-colored holy race had been guarding the green demons. Now, Tianyun had told them not to guard the green demons anymore. Their mission had been completed. When he had the chance, Tianyun would come back and compensate them. G clan's patriarch, you've completed your mission. You've exceeded your expectations. Lee Tianyun smiled. Their persistence had finally paid off. No, we haven't completed our mission yet. Since Sir is down there, we will guard the green demons until Sir comes back. The G clan's patriarch looked at Lee Tianyun gratefully. I didn't expect you to bring us such news. Thank you, sir. You still want to guard this place? Lee Tianyun asked. As long as the green demons are not exterminated, our mission is not complete. Lord Tian said we've completed our mission, but we still think we haven't. The G clan's patriarch represented the five-colored holy race, so he was the one to speak. All right, but this mission will be completed soon. Lee Tianyun admired the G clan's patriarch's determination. He turned to look at the cultivators. Come with me. I'll take you back and arrange a place for you. He had come out to take them back. They could not stay with the five-colored holy race forever, could they? After making arrangements for them, they could go to the Greater Ring region. The Greater Ring region? It's a bit far. I can see the world under the rule of a star venerable. Lee Tianyun's eyes flashed. He was looking forward to this trip. Chapter 2069. The Big Ring territory was very far away. If Tianyun had not told him, Lee Tianyun would not have known where it was. There was no record of it. It was a blank space. Generally speaking, the Big Ring territory was on the Red Moon planet, which was outside the Wild Dragon planet. The Star Source territory or the Burning Desolation territory were just a part of the Wild Dragon planet. They were not so eye-catching on the whole Wild Dragon planet. The Big Ring territory was on the Red Moon planet. The Red Moon planet was vaster than the Wild Dragon planet and farther away. Since it was outside the Wild Dragon planet, it was normal that there was no record of it. There were two ways to go to the Red Moon planet. One was to fly, and the other was to take a transmission formation. If one flew, it would take dozens or even hundreds of years to reach the Red Moon planet. So, there was another way, which was to take a transmission formation. Taking a transmission formation was undoubtedly the fastest and the most time-efficient way. Lee Tianyun would not fly there stupidly. It would be stupid to waste so much time. It would not only waste a lot of time, but it was also very dangerous. Even star venerables could run into danger if they flew there. He was not afraid of the danger, but it would take too much time. It was not worth it. Under such difficult conditions, few people in the surrounding areas knew about the Red Moon planet, let alone the Big Ring territory. If one wanted to take a transmission formation, he would have to go to the 6 origin territory. The 6 origin territory was not a big force. In fact, it was average. There was a transmission formation there because it was the best place to set up a transmission point. The existence of this transmission formation meant strong people often passed through here. So, the 6 origin territory was good for communication. Strong people often passed through here. If one wanted to find strong people, they could find them in the 6 origin territory. For example, star venerables were rare in other places, but they were very common here. Star venerables could be seen from time to time. As for grand star venerables, there were very few of them. They would not appear on the Wild Dragon planet. The Wild Dragon planet had fewer resources than the Red Moon planet, so grand star venerables would not come here. Tian Yuan had come here because his hometown was here. Seeing his hometown invaded by the green demons, he had to come back to defend it. Otherwise, even if the Green Devil race occupied the entire Wild Dragon star, the Scarlet Moon star wouldn't bother to send people to eliminate the Green Devil race. After all, there were simply too many races like the Green Demon race to count. If they were all so righteous, wouldn't they tire themselves to death? To put it bluntly, as long as they did not provoke them, the Green Demon race could do whatever they wanted. After devouring all the cultivators, the Green Demon race would not even bother to look at them. But once he came to Scarlet Moon planet, things would be different. He would definitely flatten the Green Devil race. After taking the group of cultivators back, Tianyun went directly to the 6 origin domains after he finished his tasks. He believed that Shi Shuiyun would make good arrangements for this batch of cultivators. They were all very loyal, so naturally he would not waste them. As for his clone, he had arranged for it to head to the Starsource domain so that it could connect with the Desolate Incineration domain in the future. I will personally go to the 6 origin regions. This matter naturally needs to be handled by me. After passing through several domains, he finally arrived at the 6 origin domain. The area near the teleportation point is usually more prosperous. This is true. When Tianyun arrived, there was nothing special about the overall situation. It was just a relatively prosperous city, and there were indeed experts moving about. Among them, star venerates were quite common. Grandmaster Xing was even more common here. Unfortunately, these experts were not from the 6 origin domains. If there were so many experts in the 6 origin domains, it would be really powerful. However, these experts only came from the Scarlet Moon star and were here to trade. There were not many restrictions on going to the Scarlet Moon star. As long as one paid a certain fee, one could teleport to the Scarlet Moon star. Even a star apostle could teleport as long as one paid the fee. When he arrived, he found a group of cultivators frowning at the side, looking depressed. How are we going to go back now? We don't even know when it will be repaired. That's right, there are still urgent matters in the sect. I'm afraid we won't be able to return in a short time. Sigh, why did there have to be a problem at this time? The cultivators who came and went looked depressed. Some of them were cursing and stomping their feet in anger. Tianyun narrowed his eyes. It seemed like there was a problem with the teleportation formation. Sure enough, when he quickly arrived near the teleportation formation, he immediately saw a group of astral rune masters continuously repairing the teleportation formation. It seemed like there was really a problem with the teleportation formation. What's going on? This teleportation formation is actually broken. It has not been broken for so long. Why is it broken this time? How are we going to go back? That's right. How did you guys maintain it? Even the teleportation formation is broken. We paid so much for nothing. One teleportation requires a star sector level treasure. This is not a low price. Hurry up and repair it. I'm in a hurry to go back. The group of cultivators was very unhappy. They all waited at the side for the teleportation formation to be repaired. There was no lack of star venerates among them. Their expressions were not very good. If it were an ordinary cultivator, they would have been smacked to death by them. There were 7 or 8 star venerates. It was rare to see them in this area. Tianyun walked over to take a look and found that the teleportation formation was indeed very badly damaged. It did not break during the teleportation. It should have been destroyed. The entire teleportation formation had caved in. The dense cracks looked like it would be difficult to repair. Friend, how did the teleportation formation break? Tianyun asked Grandmaster Xing, who was beside him. Grandmaster Xing looked unhappy. He looked at the teleportation formation in front and said, "We are not too sure." Suddenly, a force pressed down and crushed this place. Usually, we spend so much money to teleport, but we don't even have good protective measures. Now, it's too late for me to go back. Tianyun suddenly understood. So that was what happened. You are also trapped here? Yuluo looked over. Not really. I just wanted to go to Scarlet Moon Planet to do something. I didn't expect this to happen just after I arrived, Tianyun said with a smile. Actually, this is not the first time. It has happened a few times. However, we just couldn't catch the culprit. Every time the teleportation formation was repaired, it was destroyed again. The key is who did it. Yuluo looked depressed. What's even more stupid is that they did not strengthen the protection after being damaged a few times. Now, it has to be repaired slowly again. I heard that the last time it was repaired, it took several years. What a waste of time. Chapter 2070. The teleportation array was quickly repaired with the help of many star rune masters. The speed was neither fast nor slow, so they couldn't speed it up even if they wanted to. It would take a long time to repair such a huge teleportation array. This was a meticulous job. If there was a mistake, the entire teleportation array could be unusable or sent to the wrong place. It was fine if they were sent to a safe place, but they were most afraid of being sent to a dangerous place. They wouldn't be able to come back even if they wanted to. After all, there was no teleportation array in the area they were sent to. How could this not be embarrassing? Normal teleportation arrays were point-to-point teleportations. Now, they were randomly teleporting, which was quite dangerous. Therefore, they didn't dare to be careless. They were very meticulously repairing the teleportation array. Their foreheads were covered with sweat, but no one cared about them. For the cultivators present, this was their job. The cultivators present only cared about whether they could quickly return to Red Moon Planet, not watching them repair the teleportation array. It wasn't a matter of sympathy, but it was the nature of one's job. They were all cultivators who had paid a lot of fees, so they naturally expressed their dissatisfaction. Every teleportation required a star sector level treasure. This was an exorbitant price, and many cultivators were dissatisfied. If the teleportation was free from the beginning, they definitely wouldn't have any objections, or at least they wouldn't be as resentful as they were now. Tianyun didn't feel any sympathy for their situation. According to Yuluo, they had already appeared several times, but they still didn't pay attention. They didn't even install any extra protection or find an expert to oversee it. The other party probably wanted to save some costs and didn't want to be so wasteful. Now, the result was that they wouldn't be able to teleport for a period of time, which was a huge loss. Even the Star Rune Masters who repaired the teleportation array were very dissatisfied, let alone the cultivators. They had come to repair the teleportation array several times, but the force that was in charge of controlling this teleportation array didn't take good care of it and left it to them. How could they not be resentful? This is the 4th time. Didn't they say that they would send more people to protect it? Why is there no movement? Alright, this has nothing to do with us. How the 6 Yuan regions deal with it is their business. We just need to focus on repairing it. I just want to repair it. Look at the way those cultivators look at us. They want to swallow us. The Star Rune Masters who repaired the teleportation array felt uncomfortable under the gazes of so many people. It was really unfair that they had to take the blame. The 6 Origin region was in charge of the teleportation array. After all, it was built here, so it was naturally managed by the 6 Origin region. They were also the ones who collected the fees. It could be said that the maintenance of this place had the greatest relationship with the 6 origin regions. The 6 Yuan regions couldn't absolve themselves from the teleportation array rune array. When Tianyun felt that there was nothing else to see, he decided to go somewhere else. A patrol team came over and posted a notice on the wall next to him. Everyone looked at it and immediately saw the content. A high reward is offered for the culprit who destroyed the teleportation portal. Anyone who finds even the slightest clue and provides the information will be rewarded with a star sector level treasure. Anyone who personally captures the culprit will be rewarded with 10 star sector level treasures, 3 star sector level martial arts, and free lifetime use of the teleportation portal. Of the teleportation array rune. To array rune. Teleportation array rune. Especially when they caught a criminal, they would be able to use the teleportation portal for life, which was a good reward. It was okay. You want to catch the rune with this little reward? You want to catch a criminal with this little reward? The reward should be raised by at least 1 level. Otherwise, I'm not interested. One of the star venerates waved his hand, dissatisfied with the reward. Right, the reward is too bad. You can't catch him even after destroying the teleportation array 4 times, and you want us to catch him? I don't think the reward is simple. Otherwise, I won't be interested. One of the star venerates waved his hand, dissatisfied with the reward. Yes, the reward is too bad. I don't think this guy is simple. He can't be caught even after destroying the teleportation array 4 times. He is definitely not simple, another star venerate agreed. Although the reward was okay for star venerates, it was not very tempting. Especially someone who had destroyed the teleportation array 4 times without being caught. He was definitely not simple. It was impossible for the 6 Yuan regions not to care. This was cutting off their source of income. How could they not care? But after investigating for so long, they didn't find anything, so they had no choice but to offer a reward. But this reward was very stingy. The 6 Yuan region's patrol envoys looked at each other and immediately went back to report the situation. They could not change the reward. Itanyun rubbed his chin as he watched this scene. This was getting interesting. Brother, they're right. The reward is too little. I'm not interested at all, Yu Luo said unhappily. These rewards are fine for the cultivators of Desolate Dragon Planet, but for those from Scarlet Moon Planet, there is no way to fool them. These rewards are really average. But the experts here are all from Scarlet Moon Planet. The 6 Yuan regions are too stingy. Yu Luo came from Scarlet Moon Planet, so he was naturally familiar with the situation there. Tianyun nodded in agreement. Although he had never been to Scarlet Moon Planet, judging from the number of experts there, the resources there must be amazing. Under such circumstances, this reward was obviously not enough. Sure enough, after a while, the patrol envoys came over and added a few lines of words to the notice. An additional galaxy-grade martial art. When this line of words was added, it immediately caused an uproar among the cultivators. All of them revealed excited expressions. Indeed, only a high reward could ignite a fire. Galaxy-grade martial arts were peak martial arts for star venerates and above. With a galaxy-grade martial art, one could burst out with even greater power. Most star venerates did not have galaxy-grade martial arts, only star domain-grade martial arts. This showed how rare they were. This is too exciting. They actually gave us a galaxy-grade martial art. I thought they would give us more treasures or some kind of divine medicine. Yu Luo was pleasantly surprised. Brother E, why don't we team up and search for the culprit? When the time comes, we will split the rewards equally. Yu Luo was extremely excited. With a high reward, there would always be brave people. Even facing so many star venerates, Yu Luo had no intention of retreating. He believed that they could still catch the culprit. I'm not interested. If you want, find someone else to team up with. Tianyun patted his shoulder. I just want to wait for the teleportation formation to be repaired. I don't care about anything else. Brother Yu, thank you for your explanation. We will meet again if fate permits. Chapter 2071. Tianyun was not interested in these rewards. Even if it was a galaxy-level martial art, he had no interest in it. A galaxy-level martial art was definitely good, but overall, it was just average. His 6-color Emperor Dragon had its own martial art. As long as it reached a certain level, it could display powerful moves. It could be considered a kind of martial art. Of course, it would be better if there was, but he was not interested in it. Right now, he just wanted to wait for the teleportation array to be repaired and then teleport away. He could not be bothered with anything else. A criminal who could sneak attack 4 times and not be caught was definitely not simple. He did not want to get involved in this mess. When he walked for a while, he happened to see a thin male cultivator being pushed away. The person who pushed him said in a dissatisfied tone, "Are you blind? How dare you bump into me?" Sorry. The thin male cultivator quickly bowed his head and apologized. Then he turned around and left quickly. The big man wanted to say a few more words, but he found that the kid had disappeared into the crowd. Everything disappeared too quickly. This kid, he left too quickly, right? Don't let me see you again. Hey, where's my star ring? The big man noticed that his star ring was gone. In the blink of an eye, his star ring was gone. Damn it, it must be that kid who stole it. The big man roared and chased into the crowd. He did not know where the thief was, so he could only run around to see if he could find the cultivator. This big man's cultivation was not low. He was a late-stage star grandmaster, but he did not know that his star ring was stolen so easily. It had to be said that the thief's stealing skills were not bad. He could easily steal someone else's star ring. The surrounding onlookers laughed gloatingly. They could not help but tighten their grip on their star rings. They were also worried that their star rings were stolen. Lee Tianyun looked at the youth next to him with a strange expression. This youth came to his side without anyone noticing and pretended to be a passerby. Others might not be able to tell, but he could tell at a glance that this youth was the thief who stole someone else's star ring. In the blink of an eye, he not only came to his side, but also changed his face. Most importantly, his cultivation was not low. He was an early-stage star lord, but he was a petty thief. It really made people not know whether to laugh or cry. Thief God Sect. There is such a sect? Tianyun could see it because of the appraisal eye. No matter how strong the disguise was, as long as the soul did not change, he could see it. This guy was from Thief God Sect, which meant that he was a thief, taking advantage of the chaos to steal others' things. Tianyun's mind turned. He guessed, could it be that the one who destroyed the teleportation array is from Thief Sect? This made him speculate that he should transfer the criminal to the Thief God Sect. Only the thief door could do it without being noticed. After destroying, they would quickly hide in the crowd, and no one would be able to find them. This was only his conjecture. Whether it was true or not, it was another matter. Fellow Taoist, what happened? The young man pretended to have a puzzled expression, as if he had really just arrived. Tianyun was star. So, it is like that. The moral degeneration of the world is getting worse by the day. That pitiful friend, I hope he can find that star ring. The youth sighed deeply, showing some sympathy. So that's how it is. The morals of the world are really degenerating with each passing day. That poor fellow Taoist, I hope he can find that star ring. The young man sighed deeply, expressing some sympathy. Seeing this, Tianyun couldn't help but praise in his heart. This acting is really realistic. I hope so. Tianyun's expression did not change. I hope so. Tianyun's expression did not change. Friend, I will take my leave first. Many thanks for your explanation. We will meet again if fate allows it. The youth smiled at Tianyun and brushed past him, intending to leave. However, just as he was about to leave, Tianyun grabbed his arm and held him back. The youth's expression changed. He did not expect to be caught. He wanted to struggle, but he could not escape from Tianyun's grasp. Tianyun looked at him and said with a smile, "Boy, you want to steal something from me?" At this moment, Tianyun grabbed the youth's arm and pulled it towards him. In the youth's hand was his star ring. When he was not careful, it was stolen from his finger. No one knew. This was not a simple stealing technique. It was a godly stealing martial art. It was a stealing technique that he had deliberately cultivated. Someone wants to steal my star ring. Quick, catch the thief. He might be the thief. Suddenly, the youth shouted, attracting the attention of the people around him. The burly man immediately turned around. When he heard the shout, he quickly rushed over. When he saw Yi Tianyun trying to take back the star ring, he flew into a rage. Are you that kid's accomplice? How dare you steal my things? The other cultivators gathered around and looked at Yi Tianyun from head to toe. They wanted to see what the thief's accomplice looked like. Yi Tianyun's expression did not change. He looked at the youth and smiled. A thief calling a thief. I didn't want to bother with you, but you still want to frame me. You're really capable, aren't you? The youth's eyes revealed a sly look. He did not reply to Yi Tianyun. In his opinion, Yi Tianyun was going to be dragged over. When that happened, he would be able to escape. Kid, I'm asking you a question. The burly man reached out to grab Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun turned his head to the side and glared at the big man who was rushing towards him. Get out of here. A terrifying killing intent drilled into the burly man's eyes. He felt a chill from head to toe. In the next moment, he sat on the ground, paralyzed, and his legs trembled. An 8-foot-tall burly man was so scared that his legs turned to jelly. I wasn't interested in you at first. Now, I'm a little interested. I want to see what you're really thinking. Yi Tianyun moved closer to his ear and whispered, even if you're in disguise, I can still tell that you're the thief just now. If you don't want me to expose you completely or search you, then follow me obediently. With that, Yi Tianyun dragged the youth and walked forward. No one dared to stop him. The cultivators who could tell that Yi Tianyun was not someone to be trifled with. Just one sentence was enough to scare the burly man. How would he come forward to help? This was how it was here. Forget about the sense of justice. If he helped randomly, he wouldn't even know how he died. Chapter 2072. The thief was forcefully dragged to another area. There were no cultivators around here, only the two of them. Tell me honestly, what is your purpose in coming here to steal? Yi Tianyun dragged him over and questioned, does the destruction of the teleportation formation have anything to do with you? Lord, what are you talking about? I don't understand at all. I just took a fancy to your star ring and took it with me. It really doesn't mean anything. The youth had an apprehensive expression. He was very worried that he would be beaten up by Yi Tianyun. You took a fancy to my star ring and took it with you? You are really not satisfied. You just took someone else's star ring and now you want to take mine. Yi Tianyun squinted at him and smiled. Do you think I will believe your nonsense? You probably took more than one star ring, right? Tell me the general information. Otherwise, don't blame me for searching your soul. I feel that using soul search is much faster than prying information out of your mouth bit by bit. The youth's expression changed. He hurriedly shook his head and said, Lord, I really did not lie. I am a thief. I hope you will forgive me. If possible, I can give you all the star rings I took with me earlier. His face was filled with fear. He was afraid that Yi Tianyun would make a move on him. A thief from the thief god sect. Is that an ordinary thief? When a thief from the thief god sect makes a move, it is definitely not a simple move. He probably has a purpose, right? Yi Tianyun directly exposed his identity. Others might not be able to see it, but how could he not see it with his appraisal eye? He could see through the identity of the thief with one glance and knew his true identity. The legendary thief god sect was very secretive. They would not make a move casually. When they made a move, they would steal a big treasure. They would not target some small treasures. For example, what kind of treasure could a Grandmaster Xing's treasure be? Especially this youth. Although he looked weak, he was actually a star venerate. With such a strong cultivation, would he take a fancy to Grandmaster Xing's treasure? That was obviously impossible unless this Grandmaster Xing had some precious treasure. However, based on the current situation, the burly man definitely didn't have any precious treasures. At the very least, his identity wasn't that prominent. Therefore, Tianyun was sure that the godly thief door had some big movements. Perhaps it had something to do with the destruction of the transmission array. At present, they were the suspects. What pickpocket door? I don't know. The teenager was surprised. It seemed that he did not expect that Lee Tianyun could see his identity. He would not admit that he was from the pickpocket door. At the same time, he flipped his palm slightly, and a bright light flickered in his palm, as if hiding something. Don't play dumb, otherwise don't blame me for searching your soul. I just want to know your simple goal. I just want to use the teleportation formation. If the teleportation formation was destroyed by you, then it's a waste of my time. Tianyun said coldly. Your Excellency, I really don't know anything about pickpocket door. Just as he finished speaking, the teenager suddenly broke free from Lee Tianyun's grasp. A silver light suddenly appeared in his hand, and he stabbed at Lee Tianyun. Lee Tianyun was not in a hurry. He gently stretched out his hand, and the teenager's hand was fixed. Oh, you have some mercy. Amnesia needle, and you still say that you are not from the pickpocket door. Lee Tianyun saw the teenager's hand, but he was not angry. Instead, he laughed. This needle could erase the memory of a certain period of time. Apart from that, there was not much harm. At least, it was not a poisonous needle, nor was it a beheading knife. This meant that the teenager still had some mercy. At least, he would not put people to death. Even if he knew a little bit of their identity, he would not kill them. The teenager's complexion changed. He did not expect that his sneak attack would be so easily blocked. Even if he increased his strength, it was useless. He was a Star Lord, but he could not deal with Lee Tianyun. There was only one possibility. That was Tianyun's cultivation was much stronger than his. Fortunately, you made a wise choice. If you wanted to kill me, I would not only search your soul, but also strip you naked and hang you on the city wall as a warning. Don't think that I don't know what your real appearance is under this face. Lee Tianyun smiled, but it was so horrifying in the teenager's eyes. Lee Tianyun saw through his real gender. His real gender was female. Since his appearance was disguised, it was also normal to cover up his gender. Female cultivators often encountered inhuman treatment, especially after they were caught. Therefore, their gender would be covered up, but it still could not escape Lee Tianyun's eyes. As soon as Lee Tianyun saw her, he knew everything about her condition. However, no matter what the gender was, the real situation was just as he said. If this girl was merciless and wanted to kill him, he would definitely do it without mercy. If she dared to make a move on him, then she should be prepared to be killed. Come with me. Don't think that you can escape with your mediocre martial arts. If you make me unhappy, don't blame me for being rude. Lee Tianyun gestured for her to follow him. The girl followed him obediently. All her information had been stripped away. The other party only had to look at her for a few times, and everything was right. She did not dare to run around. If she was really caught, and the result was like what Lee Tianyun said, she would not be able to rest in peace. What a bastard! The girl muttered in her heart. At the same time, she was thinking about how to escape or how to answer. She looked up and saw Lee Tianyun walking in front of her. There was no protection around her. However, she did not have any intention to escape. She felt like she was being controlled. Hey, Brother Yi, we meet again. When Yu Luo saw Lee Tianyun, his face showed a surprised expression. He wanted to hug him, but he was stopped by Lee Tianyun. Enough. You thief sect really have a lot of tricks. You want to save your companion? Tianyun smiled and said, Come with me. I just want to ask you something. Don't play any tricks with me. Both of them gasped. Especially Yu Luo, his eyes revealed a shocked look. His identity was actually seen through. His identity was indeed from thief sect. When he saw that his senior sister seemed to be controlled, he immediately came to help. Who knew that Lee Tianyun could see through his identity? He kept thinking, where did he expose his identity? Go, I'll stop him. Yu Luo immediately stood up and burst out his strongest power. He wanted to stop Lee Tianyun so that his senior sister could escape. Unexpectedly, the girl grabbed Yu Luo and dragged him to her side. She bowed her head and said, Don't mess around. Just follow the adults. Yu Luo was dumbfounded. What was going on? Chapter 2073. Yi Tianyun had known that Yu Luo was from the thief school from the very beginning. But he didn't bother to tell him. Anyway, it had nothing to do with him. Even if they stole all the things of the practitioners and used them for something else, it would have nothing to do with him. As long as they didn't steal from him, he didn't care. Not only did they steal from him, but they also had something to do with the destruction of the teleportation formation. He had to investigate it. After a while, Yi Tianyun took them back to the hostel. After going back to the room, Yi Tianyun flicked his finger. A soundproof barrier was deployed around the room to isolate the sound. If anyone tried to investigate this place, he would know immediately. Only a Grand Star Venerable could sneak in without anyone noticing. He believed there were no Grand Star Venerables here. Grand Star Venerables weren't cabbages. How could they be seen everywhere? Star Venerables were rare here, let alone Grand Star Venerables. Tell me. I don't mean anything. I don't want to target the thief school, either. I just want to ask you one thing. Did you destroy the teleportation formation? Yi Tianyun sat on the chair, reached out and gently tapped on the table, making the whole room full of dong-dong sound. They looked at each other. The young man didn't change back to his real body. He still looked like a young man. Yes, we destroyed the teleportation formation. Yu Qiumo nodded and admitted it in the end. Apprentice sister, Yu Luo didn't expect Yu Qiumo to answer so quickly. He thought she would make something up. In his opinion, his apprentice sister wouldn't be so straightforward. Yu Qiumo glared at him. Then she looked at Yi Tianyun and said, "You won't catch us to get the reward, will you?" "Apprentice sister, if we try our best to run away, can he stop us?" Yu Luo said to Yu Qiumo. Yu Qiumo didn't even bother to pay attention to him as she stared at Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun kept knocking on the table. He said calmly, "The reward is not attractive to me. I just want to know what's going on. Since it was you who destroyed it, that's good. You won't continue to destroy it for the 5th time, right? No matter how many times you destroy it, can you slow down and let me go to Scarlet Moon Planet? At that time, you can do whatever you want." He wanted to warn them not to rush into action. As long as he went to the Scarlet Moon Planet, it wouldn't be a problem for him to do whatever he wanted. That's it? Yu Qiumo was stunned. "If we don't do that, what else can we do? I just want to go to Scarlet Moon Planet. You destroyed the teleportation array, so how am I supposed to go to Scarlet Moon Planet? Don't tell me you want me to fly there?" Yi Tianyun said helplessly, "No matter what you do, it has nothing to do with me as long as it doesn't affect my use of the teleportation formation." Yu Qiumo and Yu Luo looked at each other. They had thought that Yi Tianyun wanted to say something, but it turned out that he wanted them not to be in a hurry to ruin the plan. "Milord, we did destroy the teleportation formation, but we also have our reasons," Yu Qiumo said. "No matter what reason it is, unless you find me another teleportation formation, don't blame me for being impolite if any of you try to destroy the teleportation formation again." Originally, he was a little annoyed that he had to wait here for a while. After all, he was in a hurry. Tian Yuan said that he was not in a hurry, but he didn't want to waste time here. Yu Qiumo and the others looked troubled. They definitely couldn't find another teleportation formation. Wild Dragon Planet only had a teleportation formation here. As for other places, they really couldn't find one. If there really was a teleportation formation, it would be a relatively private one. Even the outside world didn't know about it. How could they know about it? "Milord, I'm afraid I can't promise you that, unless you help us solve our problem." Yu Qiumo rolled her eyes. Yi Tianyun was silent for a while, staring at Yu Qiumo for a while, then continued to knock on the table. "Now you want to talk terms with me? What qualifications do you think you have to talk terms with me?" "Brother, you're going too far. My senior sister's cultivation is not low. If it wasn't for her kindness, if it wasn't for her reluctance to kill, Brother E would have already been killed." Yu Luo couldn't help but say, "She is indeed kind, I can see that. If it wasn't for her kindness, she probably wouldn't have lived until now." Tianyun smiled faintly. "Your senior sister's cultivation is not weak, but do you know why she is willing to stand in front of me obediently and dare not lie?" Yu Luo thought for a moment, then immediately widened his eyes. "Brother E, your cultivation is stronger than senior sister?" It's not that I want to say that your thief god sect shouldn't just focus on cultivation, you also need to train your brain. You only just discovered such an obvious situation? Lee Dun-yun smiled and shook his head, feeling quite helpless. Junior brother Yu is indeed lacking a brain. Yu Chioma smiled awkwardly. Yu Luo's face turned red. He was indeed lacking a brain. For a while he really couldn't figure out what was going on. Judging from the aura, Yi Tianyun's cultivation was only at the level of Xing Master, so he always wanted to let Yu Chioma escape. I'm not qualified to talk about conditions, but this is related to the life and death of our thief god sect. If Master doesn't agree to help, we can only continue to destroy the teleportation array. Even if we are killed by Master in the end, we will accept it. Yu Chioma clenched her teeth, braced herself and said, "Oh, life and death." Yi Tianyun raised his eyebrows. Your thief god sect is always secretive. How can there be a situation of life and death? Is it possible that your thief god sect is being threatened? Yu Chioma immediately replied, "Yes, our thief god sect is being threatened. Our sect master and many junior brothers and sisters have been captured. If we don't do this, then we can only be exterminated." Yi Tianyun's eyes narrowed. He didn't expect it to be the same as what he guessed. There is someone who can find the location of your thief god sect? That is really strange. Yi Tianyun was a little curious. This really made people curious. The thief god sect was such a hidden sect. Naturally, it would not be easy to find it. Master, you are one of the strange people. Even if I change my appearance, you can easily see through me. Yu Chioma pointed at Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun gently touched his nose. He was an exception. If it was not because of the appraisal eye, it was really not easy to see through him. The person who can control your thief god sect is certainly not simple. You want me to help, are you not asking me to die? Yi Tianyun leaned on the chair, indifferently said, "However, if I want to help you, at least you have to give me something that can move me. I can't go die for you, right? Be realistic. If there is no reward, I don't want to help. Otherwise, I don't mind guarding the teleportation array to resist your sneak attack." Chapter 2074. Reward. Yu Chioma repeated Yi Tianyun's words. Li Tianyun was right. If there was no reward, who would help? Even if it was for the teleportation formation, no one would help casually. The teleportation formation was there in the first place, so they should be the ones paying for the damage. Yu Chioma thought for a while before saying, "Galaxy-grade martial technique and galaxy-grade treasure." The two top-notch treasures Yu Chioma mentioned were better than the reward. The reward was just a galaxy-grade martial technique, but there was also a galaxy-grade treasure here. She was really generous. This kind of reward could indeed get star venerates or even star venerates to help. After all, the reward was pretty good. Of course, it depended on who the opponent was. If the opponent was dozens of star venerates or star venerates, not to mention 2, no one would dare to accept even 3. After Yi Tianyun heard that, he continued knocking on the table and said calmly, "As the senior sister, did you not hear what I said earlier? Think carefully about what I said when I talked to you about the teleportation formation." Yu Chioma thought about it, then shook her head and said, "Sir, you said that you don't care about galaxy-grade martial arts, but I'll give you a galaxy-grade treasure now. No matter how you look at it, this is a relatively high reward, right? The reward is pretty good, but the person you want me to deal with is not a simple person, right? I'm afraid that most of the star monarchs wouldn't accept this task, right?" Yi Tianyun looked at Yu Chioma with a burning gaze, and Yu Chioma bowed her head to look at him. There were so many star venerates here. Why did they come to me instead of asking for help? Yi Tianyun guessed that the opponent was very strong. Yu Chioma judged that she could not deal with the star venerates here, so she did not try to rope him in. Since Yi Tianyun could deal with her easily, it meant that he was not weak. That was why she asked. Yes, the opponent is very strong, but not especially strong. He is a late-stage star venerate. My lord, you suppressed me so easily, so your cultivation is definitely a late-stage star venerate. It should not be a problem for you to help me deal with him. Yu Chioma could only say this. A late-stage star venerate? This is not something an ordinary star venerate can deal with. There are a lot of star monarchs here, but they are not very powerful. Haven't you thought about asking a star venerable for help? Lee Tianyun said with a smile. It's not that there are no star venerables here. Star venerate? Yu Chioma said awkwardly, there are only a few star venerates on the desolate dragon planet, and our thief gate happened to have offended them. If we ask them for help, we will have to pay a higher price. Lee Tianyun looked at her and smiled. What she said is true. Thief Door specializes in stealing special treasures. No, Tianyun Chioma said. Star. No wonder, if you go to the star venerables for help, not only will you have to spit out what you have done before, but you will also have to pay a higher price. Lee Tianyun said with a smile, which made Yu Chioma and the others feel embarrassed. No wonder. If you ask a star venerate for help, you will have to pay a higher price. Lee Tianyun smiled, which made Yu Chioma and the others feel embarrassed. That was the price for stealing. It was good enough that they did not come to kill us, and now they wanted to ask for help? The cultivators who suppressed our Stealing God sect are mainly familiar with our Stealing God sect, that's why they were suppressed. Yu Chioma said. She was afraid that Lee Tianyun wouldn't agree, so she explained in more detail. You don't have to be so subtle. He is a traitor of your thief gate, right? Lee Tianyun glanced at them. She had made it so clear, and he would be a fool if he did not know. Yu Chioma and the others felt even more embarrassed, but it was true. He was a traitor of the thief gate. That guy is a traitor. Our thief gate never mistreats any disciple. That guy thought the thief gate had not taught him something, so he chose to betray us. Yu Luo cursed angrily. That's your business. It has nothing to do with me. Tell me what else you want. Tell me what I want. Lee Tianyun did not care about what had happened to them. He only wanted the reward. As long as you help us solve this problem, we will provide you with a galaxy-level martial arts technique or a treasure. You can choose any one of them. At the same time, we can do two things for you. As long as it is within our ability, we will help you. What do you think? Yu Chioma increased the reward immediately. She could only ask for Lee Tianyun's help in this way. They were at their wits' end and could only do this. It's too little. Lee Tianyun shook his head. My lord, you are asking for a mile after giving us an inch. This is a very high reward. Even ordinary star venerables would want it. Yu Luo could not help but say. 3 galaxy-level treasures. Even star venerables would want it. The thief gate had 3 galaxy-level treasures, which meant it had a good foundation. It could even be said they were rich. Ordinary star venerables might want it, but I'm not. Lee Tianyun leaned back and poured himself a cup of tea. He took a sip and said, You are hiding a lot of things. You are digging a hole for me to jump into. The conditions are tempting, but I don't think it's worth it. My lord, what do you mean? Yu Chioma frowned. She had been rejected again and again. Her patience was wearing thin. What do I mean? Don't you understand? The traitor of the thief gate asked you to destroy the teleportation formation. What's the point of destroying the teleportation formation? You didn't tell me the reason. The point is, I guess it's not the traitor who asked you to do it, but the mastermind behind the traitor. I wasn't interested in it. But if you want my help, you must know everything. Otherwise, I'm afraid I will be the one to die. Lee Tianyun looked at her with an intense gaze. He wanted to see something from her eyes. Yu Chioma went silent. So did Yu Luo. They did not expect Lee Tianyun to dig so deep. There were indeed many twists and turns, and the situation was rather complicated. It's really complicated. We don't know why they asked us to destroy the teleportation formation. As for the mastermind behind it, we don't know either. But we can make some guesses, Yu Chioma said honestly. It should be the Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable of the Heavenly Cloud Ancestral Land. What? Lee Tianyun was shocked. He was the mastermind. Why didn't he know? Was this a joke? Say it again. Who is the mastermind? Lee Tianyun looked puzzled. That's our guess. The traitor also said it was the Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable. Yu Chioma said with certainty. Chapter 2075. Seeing Yi Tianyun laugh, Yu Qiuma felt strange. Did she say something wrong? Sir, what's so funny? Star Venerable Tianyun is a very powerful Star Venerable. According to the latest news, he killed the Star Venerable of the ancestral land of Jade God and the Master of Star Origin. It means his strength is definitely among the top Star Venerables. Yu Qiuma sighed. I hid it from you because I was afraid you would choose to retreat after hearing the title of Star Venerable Tianyun. In fact, you don't have to worry about Star Venerable Tianyun. It's just a rumor. We don't know whether it's true or not. At least it won't be a problem to kill the traitor. Rumor? Didn't you say the traitor said it? Yi Tianyun didn't expose Yu Qiuma. Instead, he asked her with a smile. He found them interesting. They didn't even know the Venerable One was here. Or maybe he was starting to get interested in the traitor. How dare he cause trouble in his name? Did he want to die? That's true, but I don't know whether it's true or not. After all, the traitor didn't tell the truth. Maybe even Star Venerable Tianyun was talking nonsense. Yu Qiuma's judgment was correct. It was a lie. What if it's true? Tianyun squinted at her and said with a smile, in that case, I will provoke Star Venerable Tianyun. Will I be killed by him? Yu Qiuma was anxious. That was why she didn't dare say it. If she said it, all the Star Lords would refuse. The reward was tempting, but their lives were more important. If they lost their lives, no matter how many treasures they had, it would be useless. He had to admit that the information Yu Qiuma had provided was too little. She didn't even know why the transmitting formation had been destroyed. However, Tianyun was starting to get interested in them, especially the traitor. He had dared to cause trouble in his name. Wasn't he courting death? Let's put it this way. If you want me to help, I can, but I'll have to change the reward. Yi Tianyun looked at them and said with a smile. How? Yu Qiuma's eyes lit up. She was truly anxious. At present, they were the only ones who could move, and the amount of support they could request was pitifully small. Some star sovereigns were even inferior to her. How could he get reinforcements from a star venerate weaker than Yu Qiuma? If possible, they did not want to expose the location of the thief sect. Therefore, he had to find a way that would definitely succeed. Otherwise, he would not be exposed. It's very simple. Your thief sect will join my force in the future. Don't worry, I won't randomly assign people to manage you. You just need to help me with something. If you do it well, you'll get more rewards. After Yi Tianyun finished speaking, he took a sip of tea under the dumbfounded expression of the other party. Milord, can you say that again? Yu Qiuma said in surprise. Didn't I make it clear? You just have to join my faction. It's that simple. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly and said, join my force, I can help you solve everything and sweep away everything. He did not pay much attention to the thief sect, but he had paid some attention to it before. The thief sect could collect information quickly. Most importantly, they were all people with extraordinary abilities. They could steal things from star venerates. What else could they not steal? Therefore, they were absolutely the best when it came to collecting materials. Yi Tianyun decided to ask the thief sect to join his force. In this way, his information network would be expanded quickly. He could ask them for any materials he wanted. With such strong support, his force would be strengthened more obviously. Milord, are you kidding? Yu Luo was so angry that he almost laughed. He could not help but say, the thief sect has a good foundation. If we are controlled, we will at least be in the top 5 on the desolate dragon planet. In terms of treasures, there were countless of them. You want to swallow up the thief sect directly. You are asking for an exorbitant price. Yu Qiuma was irritated. He had been kind enough to talk about rewards, but he was asking for an exorbitant price. He was even asking for the bones. Milord, you are going too far. If we offer you more treasures, we can hire one more star venerable. Yu Qiuma tried to hold back her anger. She did not scold him like Yu Luo. Don't you want to join my force? Yi Tianyun did not get angry. Instead, he found it funny to see their angry faces. It was normal for there to be such a strong rejection. It would be strange if he agreed to it casually. The thief sect is powerful. Why should we attach ourselves to other forces? Why should we be managed and manipulated by others? The thief sect always advocates freedom. Yuchima looked proud. She was quite proud of her sect's principle. Advocates freedom so much that there is a traitor? Yun shook his head and refuted her mercilessly. They were disappointed. Yuchima hurried to refute him. This is an exception. That guy is too greedy. He wants to take everything for himself. Otherwise, how could such a thing happen? All right, don't bargain with me. That's all I have to say. If you don't agree, you can leave. But don't destroy the transmission formation. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Lee Dong-yun waved his hand to tell them to leave. Yu Chioma and the others were so angry that they stamped their feet. Then they turned around and left. Seeing them leaving, Tianyun did not ask them to stay. He just continued to drink tea. His condition was right there. If they didn't agree, they would leave. Although he was interested in that traitor and was going to kill him, he was not in a hurry. Because he knew Yu Chioma and the others would come back for him. After a while, about half a day later, someone knocked on the door. "Come in," Lee Tianyun said calmly. Then two people walked in slowly. They were Yu Chioma and Yu Luo. They walked in with their heads lowered, as if they had done something wrong. "What's wrong? Have you thought it through?" Lee Tianyun smiled. "Sir Heavenly Cloud Star Sovereign, can you change the reward? We can't make the decision." Yu Chioma's tone was completely soft. Even Yu Luo was terrified. They didn't expect that the person in front of them was Heavenly Cloud Star Sovereign himself. "Oh, it seems that your information gathering speed is not bad. You found out my identity in half a day?" Lee Tianyun took a sip of tea. He was not surprised by their words. "We guessed it a little. Combined with some information, we found out who you are." Yu Chioma smiled awkwardly. Such a big shot was in front of her, but she didn't know who he was. She even wanted to steal from him. It was ridiculous. Chapter 2076. Lee Tianyun looked at the two uneasy cultivators and laughed. Looking at their expression, it's quite funny to see them like this. "In half a day, you can collect accurate information about me. This is not bad. It proves that your thief sect's ability to collect information is quite good." Lee Tianyun said calmly, "But overall, it seems very ordinary. My information has been leaked for so long, but you don't even know what I look like?" Lee Tianyun did not deliberately disguise himself. He looked the same, so no one recognized him along the way. Now, even the Stealing God sect didn't recognize him. The main reason is that there was a traitor in the thief sect. There were too many restrictions on all aspects. We could only hear a little bit of information, but we did not know the details. Yu Chioma straightened up and said proudly, "If not, your information would be very clear, and there would be absolutely no omission." "That is true." Tianyun leaned on the chair, reached out his hand and gently knocked on the table. He said with a faint smile, "Let's not talk about this. This is the reward. I have 2 domains, and I can continue to expand in the future. Do you think that joining me will be unfair to your thief sect?" "This is not unfair. Definitely not." They shook their heads quickly. Their attitude was completely different from before. After knowing that Lee Tianyun was Star Venerable Heavenly Cloud, they did not dare to be presumptuous. They thought that when Lee Tianyun said that the traitor was funny, they did not know what was going on. Now, it seemed that it was really funny. How could it not be funny when the thief sect was here? But this is not something we can decide. The thief sect has always advocated freedom. If we join other forces, we will be restricted. I have said before that I will not intervene. I will only ask you to help me with things. Usually, I don't need you to take action, even if it is a domain war. You are my most hidden force. If you don't take action, you will be shocked." Lee Tianyun squinted his eyes. They looked at each other. Yu Chioma nodded and said, "Sir, your request is very good. But we can't decide. Everything is decided by the master. According to our judgment, there's a high chance that he'll join us. If not, we'll find other ways to make up for it." They were surprised and happy at the same time. If they could ask Sky Cloud Star Venerable for help, the Thief Gate would definitely be saved. That's good. I also want to deal with the traitor who slandered me. Yi Tianyun's eyes turned cold, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. "Milord, this way please." Yu Qiuma gestured for Yi Tianyun to follow her. Then Yi Tianyun followed Yu Qiuma and Yu Luo and disappeared into the passageway. Under the lead of Yu Qiuma and the others, they first disappeared from the 6 origin regions through a simple teleportation formation and then arrived at another region. Following that, they brought Yi Tianyun to another corner of the city, where they took the teleportation formation to another region. One teleportation array after another. Almost every region had a teleportation array. Do you have a teleportation formation in the realm of Scorching Desolation? Yi Tianyun asked curiously. Yes, we have hidden teleportation formations in every region of the desolate dragon planet, Yu Qiuma said proudly. Yu Qiuma proudly said, only our thief god sect can arrange so many teleportation arrays and connect them perfectly without any conflict. Whether it's collecting information or running away, we can do it perfectly. Yi Tianyun nodded. That was true. The other forces couldn't do it. We're almost there. Milord, follow us later. We don't know what that traitor will do, so we must be careful, Yu Qiuma reminded him. Yi Tianyun said calmly, it's okay. No matter what kind of scheme it is, I will smash it with one palm strike. His words were very domineering, which surprised Yu Qiuma and the others. But when they thought about it, it might be true. With Yi Tianyun's cultivation, as long as it wasn't stronger than him, he could easily crush it. Soon, they arrived at the foot of a mountain, and after passing through many great formations, they arrived at the innermost region. One had to admit that the defenses along the way were very good. Ordinary Star Lords couldn't get in. Even Star Venerables would have to spend some time to crack them. By then, the Thief Gate would have enough time to retreat, and they wouldn't have to worry about being caught. Especially with so many teleportation formations, they would disappear after running for a while. Star Venerables weren't invincible. If they went to other regions, it would be hard to find them, unless they spent a lot of time searching all the way. But the price was too high. As long as it wasn't something that would make Star Venerables angry, they wouldn't waste so much time on them. In this case, the Thief Gate was very safe. As long as they didn't court death, there wouldn't be any big problem. After passing through many layers of fog, they finally arrived at the interior of the Thief Gate. As soon as they passed through the fog, they heard a vigilant voice. Who is he? Yi Tianyun looked up and saw 2 guards beside him, both at the Star Master level. He is our apprentice brother. What's the problem? Yu Qiuma answered coldly. Why haven't we met? The guards frowned, sizing up Yi Tianyun, trying to figure out something from him. An apprentice brother who has been staying outside. What's the problem? You can't see all the disciples, Yu Qiuma said in a deep voice. Will you let us pass? If you don't, we won't bother to report the situation. When the traitor gives the order, you will be punished. Don't call the master a traitor. The guards were angry, but they still stood aside and let them pass. I warn you, the master is doing this for your own good. Don't call him a traitor. A traitor is a traitor. Don't make it sound so nice. Yu Qiuma said with a cold smile, let's go. I don't want to talk to them. Then Yu Qiuma went in with Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun had a general idea of what was going on. It seemed the Thief Gate was controlled from the inside out. Even the guards were the traitor's men. They were here to monitor all the people who came in. But they couldn't see anything from Yi Tianyun, so they let him pass. After all, it was normal that they didn't know some disciples. After entering, they found the situation inside was almost the same. Many guards were patrolling back and forth. They surrounded the place tightly. There was almost no gap. Chapter 2077. Along the way, the Thief God sect was firmly controlled. There were many guards arranged here, all of them at the level of Star Master. It seemed that the other side's power was quite strong. Sir, this is our Thief God sect. It has been firmly controlled by the traitor. There is no freedom to speak of. Yu Chioemo explained while leading Yi Tianyun forward. Indeed, your thief god sect is being monitored from all angles. The other side is clearly prepared. Yi Tianyun smiled. This makes me want to see what you traitors are really thinking. Under Yu Chiomo's lead, their journey was unimpeded. They could move freely. After all, they had a mission. So, it was very normal for them to come back and report. Soon, they arrived at the inner hall of the thief god sect. There were many thief god sect disciples here, listening to orders. Well, what did you get in Finyu region? A middle-aged man was sitting on a chair in front of the hall. There was a huge dragon leopard next to him. It was lying there, allowing him to pet it. He was the traitor of the thief god sect, Star Monarch J. Fury. His cultivation was at the late stage of Star Lord. Compared to other Star Lords, he was indeed stronger. The dragon leopard next to him was also at the late stage of Star Master. It was a very powerful pet. Nothing. It is not easy to steal from Finyu region. It is also very dangerous. You are putting our thief god sect in danger. The disciple who was sent on the mission retorted. Scram. Hero's Fury Star Monarch slapped the disciple away and said coldly, I'm issuing an absolute order, not asking you to consider the consequences. What is there to be afraid of? We have Star Lord Heavenly Cloud behind us. Do you know who Star Lord Heavenly Cloud is? Whoever is not on good terms with him will be exterminated. What Jade God Ancestral Land? What Star Origin Lord? All his enemies will be exterminated. Not to say that he is absolutely invincible, but at least he is in the top 3 of the Desolate Dragon Star. With such a powerful existence helping us, why should we be afraid of other forces? Star Monarch J. Fury sneered at them. Moreover, you are still under my control. Do what I tell you to do. Don't talk nonsense with me. Sect Master and the others are in my hands. If I am not happy, I am afraid I will be beaten up again. Many disciples showed angry expressions, but they did not dare to say anything. They were being threatened, so they could only choose to compromise. If you don't have anything to say, then hurry up and complete my mission. If it's done, I can return the thief god door to you. If it's not done well, don't blame me for not considering our past relationship. Star Monarch Heroic Fury said coldly. Star Lord Heavenly Cloud is supporting you? A discordant voice came from the gate. That's right. Star Venerable Sky Cloud is supporting me. Is there a problem? Hero's Fury Star Monarch answered without thinking, then looked at the area where the voice came from. He frowned and said, You're back. How did the mission go? Yi Tianyun came in with Yu Chioma. When Star Lord Heavenly Cloud looked over, he did not linger on Yi Tianyun's face. In his opinion, the mission was the most important. The teleportation formation was destroyed again. We are rushing to repair it. Yu Chioma reported truthfully while observing Yi Tianyun's situation. Yi Tianyun was not in a hurry to act. He watched from the side. Very good, that's right. Next time, when it is almost repaired, we will destroy it again and again. Star Lord Heavenly Cloud was very satisfied and showed a rare smile. Alright, how is the stealing going? Did you steal anything good? It seemed that Star Lord Heavenly Cloud's order for Yu Chioma and the others to steal things. Under normal circumstances, although the thief god sect stole things, they did not steal randomly. It could be said that the things they stole had to have some meaning. Only then could they flaunt the power of the thief god sect. They did not steal things all the time. That was too low level. At least, they would not steal the star rings of ordinary cultivators. Ordering them to steal star rings was simply an insult to them. However, they could only choose to agree. Otherwise, the thief god sect would be finished. I don't know why you keep destroying the teleportation formation. Is there any meaning? Yi Tianyun asked again. As soon as he said this, the disciples at the side looked over in shock. Although they did not know Yi Tianyun, since he came in with Yu Chioma, he must have something to do with the thief god sect. The previous disciple who asked why was beaten half to death. Wasn't Yi Tianyun courting death by asking this? Sure enough, Star Lord Heavenly Cloud was immediately displeased. He glared at Lee Yun and said, "Didn't I tell you to do whatever I tell you to do? Why are you so long-winded? Do you want to die?" "I don't want to die. I just want to know why you gave the order to destroy the teleportation formation," Lee Yun said calmly. "Shut up." Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud sent a slap over. Powerful energy condensed into a palm, slapping towards Lee Yun's face. The other disciples closed their eyes. They could already see Lee Yun being sent flying and seriously injured. Unexpectedly, when this palm came, Lee Yun reached out and flicked his hand, easily dispersing the palm. "I'm asking you a question. Did you not hear me?" Lee Yun walked over to Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud. Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud was furious. He did not expect his attack to be blocked by the other party. Just as he was about to unleash even more power to punish the other party, he saw Lee Yun's face walking over. His legs suddenly went soft and he knelt on the ground. Star Venerate Heavenly Cloud? Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud was frightened. His legs went soft and he could not stand up. It was very obvious that Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud had seen Lee Yun's appearance. Otherwise, he would not have recognized him at a glance. Star Venerate Heavenly Cloud? The disciples were shocked, and they all looked in Lee Yun's direction. If they observed him carefully, they found that he seemed a little familiar. "I heard that you used my name to cause trouble here. I don't remember knowing you, and I have never seen you before. But you say you are familiar with me?" Lee Yun walked over with a smile. "Let's talk about how we met." Then Lee Yun extended his hand to grab Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud. Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud suddenly got up and turned around to escape. Both of them were Star Venerates. If he did not escape, he would be a fool. "Do you think you can escape?" Lee Yun grabbed Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud with a backhand. He had been prepared for this. How could he let Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud escape? In an instant, Star-Lord Heavenly Cloud was controlled. He could not resist at all. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.